me.
Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen, this is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Nunzio, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and you're watching We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned, listen to the podcast. Best one, Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
We Are Wrestling.
And if you don't listen to it, then it's one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Featuring your host, Best One Dog, Danny Huckins, Ring Service, and Dan Eddy. We are wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie, here with...
Oh, yeah, let me talk to you. This is Dan Eddy. Oh, yeah, I got the belts. As you can see, I got all the way to the top. Cup of coffee from the big time. Yeah, cup of coffee.
I'm not even going to ask.
Cup of Cool. Yeah, Dan Eddy, what's up? Just chilling. Donnie, where's your belt? I thought you had me.
Well, I don't have the belt. I lost it.
Bro, I gotta admit, man, that was like the worst, the absolute fucking worst Macho Man Randy Savage impression I've ever heard in my entire existence on this planet.
Oh yeah, well, Danny, when you get your belt, you can try it then.
Oh yeah, it's the Macho Man.
You Macho Man. Oh, yes.
Oh my God, this title reign has been the drizzling shit. I hope we get a new champion next
It's
week.
almost as bad as John Cena's heel turn or heel run, not turn.
Okay, it's not that bad. My Seth Rollins lap is pretty good. Well, yeah, no.
And you even got the new We Are Wrestling shirt.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's not even available on Pro Wrestling Tees yet right now.
It is going to be available soon. Product placement and belt placement.
I can't believe you got a We Are Wrestling title. All right, well, before we get into this week's episode, if you're not Danny, you didn't even introduce yourself.
Oh yeah.
What is going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here once again with this thing above me and then this thing above me. Regardless, man, not much is going on. We're gonna try and get through this and make this an entertaining stream for you folks. There's not much news going on when it comes to pro wrestling, but you know what? We're here because we have to be here, and it's all about consistency, and that's what content creation is all about. Donnie,
every Wednesday,
more words than me. So.
Every Wednesday, we're consistent live, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on We Are Wrestling on YouTube. But before we get into this week's episode, and we do have some pretty good topics, I'd say, this week. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're listening to this episode, wherever you get your podcast, please give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and give us a follow. But if you're not a maniac, you're already over on the YouTube channel where you can catch these episodes live every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. We recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course, you already know the grind is real.
Yeah.
And we got lots of people here in the live chat on a nice Wednesday evening. We got Nathan Daniel, and he can't wait until we get into our main event topic. We got Josh Toy Show here in the chat. We got Tyrus, one of the Daddy Acts, and we also got We Are Wrestling member Bradley and a bunch of other We Are Wrestling Maniacs here on a Wednesday. And you guys are probably wondering why the best one is here today. And the reason I'm here today is because Ben and I, we did switch our weeks. Ben, he has some things going on in his personal life, and sometimes life always comes first before the content. So I told Ben I would fill in for him, and next week I'll take it off during Crown Jewel because I can't not look at that freaking ugly championship for another week.
You're not even gonna. I don't even think you're gonna be watching Crown Jewel live because you have.
I will not be.
Streak later that day, and you have something going on Friday night, and then you're going to Bound for Glory on.
Sunday. Bound for Glory on Sunday. Yes, that too. So I will not be doing the live watch along for Crown Jewel. You are right about that.
I'm sure. Joe Schmo 1 and 2 will have it covered.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. We always figure it out for the We Are Wrestling Maniacs. But I can't believe it, Dan Eddy. Like you're the new guy here. You got a brand new championship, and you even have a We Are Wrestling shirt that myself, Rage, and Danny haven't even got in the mail yet.
Yeah.
What is going on? I need to have a talk
here. What the fuck, bro?
Bullshit.
I'm gonna have to hire a lawyer and go over my contract again because this is fucked. Okay,
this is fucked. I need to talk to Smart Mark Sterling. I need to talk to a lawyer.
On the phone immediately.
I got the Vince McMahon Austin Theory push. It's okay. I'll just probably go back in the bottom.
I feel like this is how the Jasmine Nix negotiations went.
Oh, we're gonna get into the Jasmine Nick stuff in just a moment. But might as well go over the lineup with all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs for this week's episode. we do have quite some TV recaps this week. We're going to be talking about the new tag team championships. We're going to talk about the horror fest that happened on Friday Night SmackDown. New NXT champion, the new face of NXT, Roman Reigns coming back to WWE television for the 100th time in 2025. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about Jasmine Nix with her contract situation getting lowballed by the WWE. Santino Marella believes that he could beat Tony Khan once they get a TV deal, with TNA being number 2. And then we have a lengthy getting put over this week with Jeff Hardy, which we hope you guys are excited about. And then, of course, our main event topic, Adam Copeland, Edge coming back to WWE for a possible one-off against John Cena in his farewell tour. Oh, we're going to talk about it all this week here on the We Are Wrestling podcast. Dan Eddy is not styling and profiling Bradley. Stop it now.
No, I'm not Ric Flair. I don't want to be Ric Flair.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my championship back. I'm not even going to show up next week. I'm going to be telecasting my answers, and I'm going to be a perfect 5 for 5, and I'm going to get that championship back.
I think I'm going for the gold, man. So my first.
This will be your first chance
at it. My first chance at it, man. Being back and stuff like that. I think I'm taking that gold from him. And I mean, even if you don't win, right? As long as I win and get the gold off this fucking chud. Look, I mean, look at this fucking guy.
I don't want you to have it either.
Yeah,
I don't want none of you guys to have it. I should have never lost my championship to begin with. It was Brock Lesnar's fault.
You're not going to be
why I lost my championship. I lost my title to Brock Lesnar. I thought freaking Vince McMahon was booking this shit. I thought we were going back to 2015 SummerSlam or something.
Bro, you should have known what you were getting into when Brock Lesnar was going to go up against Cena.
Oh, that was such bullshit.
Brock Lesnar can only wrestle one style of match, and that's
destroy the person and leave.
First match so I can get the fuck out of there and go back to Saskatchewan. That's all he knows.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. After the match, he probably ripped his pants or something. But let's get into our We Are Wrestling podcast, Power of the Poll. Every week, we recommend all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs. If you're a part of the community, go to our community tab on the YouTube page. We give you guys 1 week to vote on a wrestling-related question. And this week, we asked you, what should WWE bring back to weekly television? And here are the results. And there are the results right there. Raw Roulette winning with 49%, while 24% wants to bring back old school nights. 24% of you guys also want Raw guest hosts to come back, and only 3% want the holiday backstage segments. Do we agree with this?
I do. Yeah.
Well, that's the wrong one. What the hell are we doing here?
I think the margins are better at this point. Celebrity guest hosts just got old really quick. And the roulette made it interesting. You don't know what you're going to get. Not to sound Forrest Gumpy, but yeah, anything they could do at this point, because Monday Night Raw has been a little lackluster lately, outside of the Becky Lynch and AJ Lee feud.
Coming from the guy that's dressed in black and red, the same colors as Monday Night Raw.
And there's white in there.
Got him!
White too. All right, yeah. But no,
Angelo, what's going on?
I would agree with this list. I would agree with this list. Yeah.
Here's my thoughts. Okay. As much as I like the whole roulette thing, right? I don't trust TKO and whoever else is in charge of booking this shit to book interesting stuff out of that. However, I do feel like the holiday parties, the Halloween fucking dressing up. I mean, how you'd have to be a dumbass to fuck that up. So I feel like at least that'd be entertaining. So I don't know.
So I'm assuming, Danny, you were the only person that voted for the holidays to come back backstage.
I don't know. I can't remember if I physically vote, but
you must have, because I think you're the only person that wants holiday segments to come back.
How WWE currently is in the current state with TKO and fucking everything, would you really trust them fucking booking a show where the chat roulette thing is in charge or whatever? I mean, what are they gonna do? Fucking hit somebody with French toast or something like that. Like, I don't know. I just don't know if I trust.
What, instead of having like the match stipulations on the wheel, it's all going to be sponsors. Like, who's going to sponsor this match that we've seen for the 10th time?
100%.
Slim Jim.
Bro, I'm surprised we don't have a fucking Slim Jim on a pole match. Okay.
Ooh, Angelo here in the chat.
Down, you can fucking beat your opponent with it. Like, I'm surprised we don't have that yet. But I feel
Slim
like
Jim
I
on
just
a
gave
pole
somebody
match.
an idea.
If Vince was here, Super Shakeup would still be here. I could see that being the case. Never again for Raw guest host. It was good for its time, but I wouldn't want to bring it back. Honestly, old school night. I kind of miss like old school night, but I also love the Raw roulette thing, but it wouldn't be the same. So I think I'm going to have to go with old school. I like the old school specials that we used to get. Like, at least with, like, the old setups and everything. Like, at least, like, we kind of get that with Saturday Night Main Event. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I do kind of miss the old school Raws.
One thing about, like, how WWE is now.
Like, Madison Square Garden. Like, they used to do shows at Madison Square Garden all the time. Like, what happened to that?
Like, I'm sick of how every stage is just, like, a giant LED screen with just, like, a different graphic on it. That's my, like, I don't know, just...
Well, lately they haven't been using the crazy... like LED
one of my favorite things, especially during the Attitude Era and like even going into like the early Ruthless Aggression era before they went like HD. One of my favorite things was like watching like Sunday Night Heat before a pay-per-view and like seeing like what the stage looked like. Like that was one of my favorite fucking things. That was one of my
there was something so special with the stages. For real. But guys, next week for our Power of the Poll, it is up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel in our community tab. You can cast your vote. You have 1 week. And because it is TNA Bound for Glory weekend, I figured let's ask you guys a TNA question. And what should TNA bring back? The 4 options you have is Lethal Lockdown, King of the Mountain Ladder Match, Option C, where the wrestler can cash in an X Division championship to go for the World Heavyweight Championship, or Feast or Fired. So if you guys want to go vote on that, if you're a TNA fan, I think you'll enjoy it. And we'll have the results next week in our WWE Crown Jewel predictions episode. But a couple things we do need to plug before we get into the TV recap. Blitzkrieg Pro next Saturday. If you have nothing going on and you're in the Western Mass, Connecticut area, come out to Blitzkrieg Pro at the Pierogi Hall. We Are Wrestling. We're going to be in the house, and we're sponsoring a tag team match. Priscilla Kelly and Zachary Wentz versus Charles Mason and a mystery partner. They have been feuding for quite a while. We do have a couple full matches up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. So if you guys want to tune in, or if you want to watch the full Blitzkrieg show, if you can't make it to Enfield, Connecticut, it'll be live on IWTV. And it's the price of the old WWE Network, $9.99. And you get so much good independent pro wrestling. And you're definitely getting a bang for your buck, unlike paying $30 for ESPN just to grade a WWE show AC.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
I think IWTV has to sponsor me after saying that. Like, I just put them over ESPN.
Bro,
like,
I'm waiting.
Doesn't get better.
You did a great job just now. Yeah, they should definitely sponsor you. You did a great.
Bro, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for us to get an email from IWTV and be like, yeah, we want to like work with you guys on like a deeper level or whatever. I don't know.
You got that right, Dan Eddy. We do have to figure out a new super chat goal this month. Today, since it's on the 1st. And that is why.
Is it still my turn? Would it be still my turn?
No, you failed. You didn't get the $100 goal.
Okay.
It's a new goal. It's a new month, and whatever you guys want me to do, I'm gonna listen to the Maniacs this week, and then next week we will have a answer. So if you have any ideas of a super chat punishment for the best one, Donnie, since I lost my championship and I feel like I can feel no pain right now, I think I'll take any suggestions. So you can just down in the comment section below. Let me know what you would like to see.
Ooh.
But
if we get $100, I think Donnie should sell one of his figures.
Give away a figure. Give away a figure.
I think he should get tasered.
Oh, fuck
I
that.
was trying to think of
I need more than 100.
somebody. And everybody
Like one of
knows
those-
how fucking in love with
one of those
his
taser guns,
collection Donnie is. So I mean,
like in The Hangover, you just get.
We'll figure something out.
we'll figure it out.
I literally
But
thought we don't have to do that.
let's get
That would be dangerous.
into our We Are Wrestling highlight of the week. And what's got to be your highlight this week in the wrestling world? We'll start off with the new champ.
The new champ is going to sit here and delegate the first chance to Danny Huckins because I got to think of mine. There was a few of them that I had in mind. I just can't think of them right now. Go ahead, Dan.
My highlight of the week has to be, it's wrestling related, but it's not at the same time.
They are trying to kill me, Angelo.
Matt and Jeff Hardy showing up on Kai Cenat's stream on Sunday night. You know, it was cool.
That counts. That's wrestling related.
It's like, yeah, like a lot of people won't look at it as like a big deal, but I mean, that just shows like what a deep impact the Hardys have had on pro wrestling and on people. Like somebody like Kai Cenat, who he wasn't even born in the 90s. He was born in like 2001, 2002. Like even the Hardys have had an impact on him to where he wanted them to be a guest on one of the biggest streams in Twitch history. Like, I mean, that's pretty cool. And he showcased Jeff Hardy's music. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's really cool that the Hardys at this stage of their career, they're still getting the love that they deserve.
I will say this. Very, very smart move for TNA Wrestling because that tag team championship was like shown throughout that entire stream. The Hardys were endlessly putting over TNA. That was great marketing. And Matt Hardy and Jeff, they're pros at doing that. And they definitely took advantage of the opportunity. Probably got some new eyes from Hardy fans growing up. Like Kai probably had no idea what the hell TNA Wrestling was. But after hanging out with Matt and Jeff, because of how awesome they are, and you and I, Danny, we've had multiple opportunities getting to meet Matt and Jeff, and they're just two incredible human beings.
Oh,
so for
you
them
guys
to
got to meet them?
Yes, we have. And that's the thing too. Like with the Hardys, Kai probably now wants to watch him in TNA because of how much they put over their company. And it was a highlight.
I'm telling you,
I love
this
Kai's
right now,
streams.
I don't care where you are. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if the line is wrapped up 3 blocks.
Worth it.
If you ever have an opportunity to meet the Hardys face to face,
do it.
Because like they're the most humblest people on the planet. And like, you know, they'll talk to you like they've known you for fucking 15 years. Like they're literally the coolest fucking people on the planet.
Dude, I was so like
Angelo here in the live chat. Yeah, that was fun to watch. Love the Hardys doing a video package in the house right before they met him. I do like that too. Another good little plug too for Kai.
Something to add on to that. You're talking about advertising. They were doing invasions for Monday Night Raw, or was it Raw or SmackDown?
I think they're both shows. I think they did have
both shows, and they did NXT last night too.
Yeah,
so
that's my highlight of the week was the NXT invasion angle.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just friggin' tagged myself in. That was a good little segue.
I just noticed.
I'm gonna say this right now. So with Friday Night SmackDown and Raw, because this was supposed to be my week off, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have not watched it. So I might not have an opinion on both SmackDown and Raw. I was planning on watching it tomorrow when I get my tooth procedure done. But I did watch NXT No Mercy, and that's also another highlight for me. I do want to put over NXT real quick because for a while I wasn't watching NXT. And man, ever since I did my live watch along for Homecoming, I have been very invested in everything NXT is doing. I enjoyed the whole No Mercy show, and I just finished doing my reactions to NXT before we went live. So those should be up probably after this episode. And my God, that invasion angle, I'm loving everything that they're doing right now at NXT. Like it's so much better than Raw and SmackDown.
Bro, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. And pull up
way better
real quick. The other one.
Which one? The Kalani?
Kalani Jordan being the Stone Cold in this is interesting.
I was a little confused at
I
first,
sort of
but
talked to you guys.
I kind of like
guys
it.
about it in the chat the other day. Once it got announced, like who the teams were going to be for TNA and NXT, and I was like, why is Kalani Jordan, going to be the leader of the TNA women's team if she's a contracted NXT superstar and she's a world champion? That makes sense that it's sort of like a Stone Cold kind of member when he transitioned from WWE, but he was also like the leader of WCW and ECW, but he was also WWF champion at the time. So
Look, I
think
understand
put two
it.
and two together.
Look, I understand it, but at the same time, I kind of wish it was a TNA person
I do too.
versus an NXT, but it makes sense. But I kind of wish like Kalani had a little bit more issues with NXT, with the way things are going over there, to make her like feel valid as a TNA captain. That's like my only critique about that.
Yeah.
But I do like everything else that they are doing with NXT. I am loving this NXT and TNA partnership now. But
I was gonna
real
add,
quick,
I was
what you
gonna
want to
add
add?
on to that. When TNA invaded NXT, it gave me flashbacks to when NXT was invading Raw and SmackDown, and they came down the ramp with the tank. But at this time, TNA, knowing Santino Morales, like kind of comedic humor, he used a Cybertruck instead of a tank.
Man, Angelo, you're not wrong.
That was my favorite part of the whole thing, that they used a Cybertruck.
Yeah, because the whole TNA women's team is all former WWE stars and one current, the Iconics and Jakara Jackson. That is true.
Yeah.
Also, Chris putting us over. Hey, Donnie, Dan Eddy, everyone hope all is well. Phenomenal pro wrestling content. Like, support, subscribe to the channel. They deserve it. It's free. Help grow, build the channel and community. Love you, Chris.
Thanks,
for
Chris.
putting us over.
I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it.
It's not an invasion. It's a showdown, guys.
It's true, yeah.
I will say I am a little upset about the name change, but Showdown's not bad. It's still not a bad name.
Yeah, there was something like
Something with
political
Israel
that was happening on that day or whatever, and they just they were forced to change it or whatever.
Like I'm not pissed off about it. Like it is what it is. I think Showdown's not a bad name.
I kind of am pissed off because like they were sort of like doing this in tribute to like what the invasion storyline was in 2001. You know what I mean?
True.
And now they had to change it because of some stupid political reason, which is had literally nothing to do with what they were doing on television. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is kind of sad.
I hate how politics and political situations like get involved in things that shouldn't have anything to do with it. You know what I mean?
I will say, Tyrus, you're definitely not wrong here with this statement. Totally irrelevant reason to change the title. In 2025, you say hello, people get offended. And 100%. Showdown is more boring. It is, but like I'm trying
Showdown
to like justify
is like the most PG fucking name.
Look. I'm trying to justify it because right now I'm really enjoying NXT and I'm not trying to not enjoy it.
You can enjoy it, but there's no justification for the name change. You know
yeah, I mean, you can hate it. But
hey, at least, if this was Vince, he'd be calling it Super Showdown. So at least he's not freaking adding the Super.
Do you know how many
like
movies that come out that should have titles changed, but they don't? They're like
millions.
Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing is stupid. Like,
if it was AEW
happening on TV,
I don't know if it was AEW. If it was AEW, they wouldn't have bent over and they would have kept the name.
Do you remember on AEW? I can't remember when it was. I don't even think I was really watching at this time, but I remember hearing about it. They had Nick Gage in a cage match, and he took a pizza cutter to somebody.
No, that was nope. That you're wrong. I'll because I just told the story to somebody. Basically, what happened was it was one of Jericho's 5 like matches that he had to go through to get to MJF, and him and Nick Gage had like an anything goes match, and then that's when he had the pizza cutter, and then during the play-by-play they had the Domino's commercial, and they lost the sponsorship.
When was that?
One of my favorite moments ever, dude.
This
you got
like
Dan,
2021 or something.
No,
like that?
like 2022. You got to look it up on YouTube afterwards, Dad. It's hilarious. So during like the play-by-play, because AEW was sponsored by Domino's, so they had the Domino's commercial playing while Nick Gage is freaking cutting Jericho's forehead. It was great. It's hilarious.
They were not happy.
But this is like what I was
gonna add to that before I get to my highlight was this can be a great starting point, like seed planting to Survivor Series, which is a little over a month from now.
I don't think they're going to do anything Survivor
I don't think they're
Series
going to do
related.
anything like
With
that
TNA,
because one thing
so?
I've noticed is
Nope,
this
War
TNA,
Games is taking over,
this TNA
sadly.
partnership, it doesn't really go past NXT.
Which I think is fine. I actually kind of like that it's on NXT because it feels like if it was on the main roster, it would probably be filtered and like it wouldn't feel organic. It wouldn't feel.
It would
like
step
it does
on
right now.
wrestlers' toes that have been working hard to get TP time in general.
I will say, I hope this does lead to like sort of like the Invasion pay-per-view or PLE coming back and have that be like an NXT thing, even if it's a one-off, but just having that PLE, I think that'd be really cool to have it on like a bigger stage.
I agree. But before you do share your highlight of the week, Dan, I do want to say this is basically my point, Angelo. Obviously, real life is more important than wrestling. It is what it is. That's kind of what I'm looking at it like. I just really like what they've been doing with TNA and NXT, which is why like I'm kind of, as much as like I wish we had the Invasion name because I love that pay-per-view. And I was actually one of the few during that time that really liked that storyline. I'm like kind of just like it is what it is, but because I'm really enjoying this Invasion storyline.
Yeah.
But what's your highlight of the week, Dan?
So while you guys were talking, I was kind of narrowing down my highlights, and I came down to two. I couldn't decide. So my first highlight was the conversation between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso at the end. I feel like they're really plant seeding with that tribal chief kind of transferring of the power this time correctly, because you remember they transferred it to Solo, which it ended up being him because Roman Reigns left. This time around, Jey can become his predecessor, the new tribal chief, and could possibly do much worse. And Big Jim was just standing in the back, like thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, here I am too. I'm here. He hasn't really been getting a lot of singles push. He hasn't been getting a lot of storylines, but he's been joining up with the Usos again. So this could be a great babyface, like huge babyface turn for Big Jimmy Uso. Whereas Jey can be the new Roman Reigns 2.0. And yeah, so that could just be a whole clusterfuck later on.
Honestly,
my second highlight.
Real quick, I was going to say, I think that this is the perfect segue to get into one of our We Are Wrestling weekly TV recaps. Since you have opened up the can of worms here, let's talk about Roman Reigns' return to Monday Night Raw with Jey Uso. Let's talk about it. I don't have much to say because this was supposed to be my week off, so I know you guys probably have some stuff to say, so I'm going to sit back and listen.
If you want to see my real live reaction for my Monday Night Raw stream, because I do watch-alongs every week or whatever, I put the solo, it's like almost 6 minutes long, I put the solo video up on my
You put up a reaction?
Yes, I did.
Finally!
Sitting at...
Dan Eddy, do you know how long I've been telling Danny Huckins here to friggin' take things from his clips, like big things that happen, like returns and stuff, and post them as individual things over on his channel? How many views are you at? How many views?
573 so far.
All right, well,
there you go.
You can thank me for 573 views.
But like, I don't want to post reactions to everything because I do that.
You don't have
like,
to do everything. But the big things I've been pushing you to upload. So I'm proud of you. Thank you. Finally.
So you guys can see if you want to see my real life reaction, I fucking go crazy.
Oh, I am going
to. Stop my neighbors.
Oh, I am so going to watch it.
You were mentioning earlier too, Danny, about consistency, about content creation too. So that's a key factor of getting your name out there.
But like I noticed, what were your thoughts? I even pointed this out in my stream, and it's in that clip. I was looking, and Jey and Roman, like Roman had his hands around like Jay's shoulder, and it being like, this is how it needs to be, this is how it should be, it's only you. And Jimmy is sort of like, right over Roman's shoulder a little bit against the ropes, and he's just looking at this background. Like, bro, not this shit again. Like he just got back with his brother, and now Roman is coming to fuck shit up all over again. So it's almost like, are we gonna be getting like a Bloodline 2.0 or some shit? Like
2.5.
Well, didn't Paul Heyman say like they're only in like the third or fourth inning? with the
You
storyline.
said that
bloodline.
fucking 2 years ago, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're at the 5th or the 6th because there is 9 innings. I don't think the bloodline storyline is like they're never
The
going to end
bloodline
it.
is gonna go on forever because they just keep having more and more kids.
It is true.
And then what's his name? Zilla Fatu, I think, is not even in their main roster yet.
Shout out to Zilla,
Right.
man. Me and him share a birthday.
Zilla's going to
nice.
get WWE ID next year. I'm calling it now.
Is it? Is he? You think?
I hope TJ Crawford does.
Shout out to fucking Zilla. Bro, he did the motion capture for his dad in WWE 2K25, man.
Umaga's son.
Oh,
Yep.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Zilla, man.
Man, Zilla, he's got a bright future. That's somebody definitely keep your eyes on. Very talented
Exactly.
for being in the business,
Yeah.
not that long. But he even said like he's not, because he's gotten offers to be on television, but he feels like he's not ready yet, which is why he hasn't signed anything.
I mean,
He's
I
in
agree
the-
with that. Too.
I
He's in
do
Japanese
respect that.
wrestling, right? He's
I
in
think he takes
Japanese
bookings for
wrestling?
I think he takes bookings for Japanese wrestling.
He's the house
But he does
of
a lot in
Glory
like the New
world
York
champion.
area.
He's the world champion at Booker T's.
Don't forget about the
promotion or
MFTs.
whatever. Like
that is true.
Yeah.
you know,
MFT's here.
he wrestles everywhere, man. And like I kind of said this before, you know, everybody was like, "Oh my god, Zilla's going to show up. Zilla's going to show up." I was like, "I don't think he
He's not
is
even-
because you
he's
only
not
have
even
one
signed.
opportunity. You only have one opportunity to make a first impression." And like
Oh yeah.
he's good, but I don't think he has any business being in the ring with a Roman Reigns, a Jay, a Jimmy Uso, who have been at this for absolutely decades.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And to add on to that, they just introduced Tallest Fuck Tonga not too long ago. So
I love that nickname.
it's not like they're gonna be like showing a new bloodline member every week or every PLE. You gotta give us some time. And when Solo came around, there was some, I think, storyline behind it, some push for him to show up, or was it just like a complete surprise, like random shit? I don't remember.
I do want to do something show this year. Well, I don't know why is my thing acting up.
You are so choppy right now.
All right, there it is.
You're better. You're better.
Put Umaga in the Hall of Fame already. I was gonna say, Dan Eddy, you could pick Umaga for getting put over next week. The closest
think
thing
he was
to
on
the
the
Hall
list.
of Fame, but he already is picked, and I already picked him on
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
127.
Yep, I got the list right here. I've been looking. But so that was my highlight of the week, and I'll just stick with that. My other highlights not really important. It was just Rhea and Io getting back together because I liked it going against the Kabuki Warriors. But anything Rhea does is like basically a highlight for me and Rage. The Jay and Roman Reigns segment, I was surprised that they had that conversation in that context too, because I knew they were going to talk. I knew they were going to get like back together, like dab up, you know, what's going on, I'm back, what's going on. And I thought at first he was going to like go to Big Jim first and say hi, but no, he completely ignored Jimmy Uso to begin with. And then when Jay said smash them all, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Like perfect timing for not just Survivor games, but just planting the seed for whatever comes next.
And like I like this because like I feel like that's how Raw or SmackDown should end every week. Like not obviously the same shit or whatever, but like doing it different, but
Kind
it
of like with the
helps build
cliffhanger.
intrigue for the following week. Now people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Like what's going they're gonna want to tune in on Monday to figure out like what, you know, see if we get any information on what Roman was talking to Jay about. You know what I mean? That's how a show needs to be, man.
Survivor games.
Survivor games.
I do want to know, like, I do want to ask you guys this.
Did I say Survivor games?
Because I haven't seen. Yes, you did call Survivor.
I did say. Oh fuck!
Survivor games.
I will be watching.
Survivor games.
I will be watching the game Survivor tonight. But quick question, because I never saw this yet with Roman Reigns returning. Is it worth doing a reaction?
It's
Days
worth
after,
it,
not really.
What? Because
It's worth watching.
Because most people have already seen it. You might not get a lot of views because you waited. So
Yeah,
long.
it's kind
That's
of
something
old
you have
news.
to be on top of. All
Even though
the
it's
time.
only 2 days old, but it's like old news. It's like last week already.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, Angelo, you said no. You're a We Are Wrestling member. I'm gonna
I just
take
don't
that.
want you to waste time posting a video and have it get like fucking like 50 views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah,
People-
my reactions. We average
oh.
100 or more.
People commenting, "Oh,
But
you already
still.
knew about it. Oh, you're a fake reactor."
Yeah, no.
I
I do
wouldn't
have
want that from
NXT.
you.
I already did. I did my NXT ones before going live, so I'm gonna upload those. But yeah, I just figured I'd ask you guys. But let's move on now to our next TV recap. And I believe this is our only AEW topic that we do have this week here on the show, which is definitely a rare one. But last Wednesday
all
on,
the AEW topics because originally Rage was going to be here, but
well, there really wasn't anything though for AEW. Which
There's
you would
really
think there'd be a
nothing,
lot.
like,
You would
there's
think that
really
there'd be a
nothing,
lot
like-
because tonight isn't there like it's like their 6-year
yeah,
anniversary.
tonight is their 6th-year anniversary, AEW Dynamite, and before the main event topic, we'll be going over the match card or whatever if anybody's interested. So.
All right, well, moving on to our TV recap here, the only AEW one. Last Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, Tony Khan had a big announcement, and he revealed that the AEW women's division will be having tag team championships. What's your thoughts on this?
It's about time.
Agree.
I feel like they.
And I know you and I, Dan Eddy, our opinion right now is not popular with the
I'll let Danny go first because he's more of the AEW person than I am.
I know Danny's not happy about it.
I think it's a giant waste of time because, like, think of how many titles AEW has that are like that have little to no importance of them. You know what I mean? Like the only 2 titles that they have that feel important right now, TNT and the World Heavyweight title. You know, they have ROH titles all the time, trios titles, this title, that.
Hold on a
title,
minute.
like-
Wait, hold on a minute. I'm gonna pause right there. So you're saying out of all the championships in AEW, there's only 2 titles that are important right now.
Those
All right.
are the only 2
Hold
that I
on.
can think of.
Hold on a minute. So you have the AEW World Championship, you said, right? And TNT Champion.
Mm-hmm.
What about the Unified title? Okada's been killing it with that championship.
I totally forgot about that title.
What
Dan,
about
to be
Mercedes 9
honest.
belts?
Well, that we understand why that's not important. Nothing Mercedes does on TV has anything of importance at all.
That's what I'm saying right now. The TNT, like Kyle Fletcher's been killing it with the championship, but like you have to give respect to Okada. He's been doing a great job with that championship. The matches.
The thing is, bro, like I forgot what the fucking title was called, so I didn't fucking name it. But like, I mean, does
Your kind of title.
And
does
WWE
that-
does have way more championships than AEW, but I don't think that's the
wouldn't
issue
say
right
that.
now.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, they do have
They
2
have
tag belts.
titles, they have IC titles for men and women. They have the world titles. Like they have the usual titles. I'm tripping. I can trip all you want, but you know, I don't think AEW needs another set of fucking titles. And one, I don't think they really have much of a fucking women's tag team division to warrant fucking tag team titles.
I kind of disagree on that one.
Just
They do
because
have a
somebody
tag.
teams up in a match does not automatically make them a fucking tag
What do you?
team, bro.
What do you? I'm going to the. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna pull up the AEW roster real quick because I can tell you right now they do at least have I think like 5 tag teams in their women's division. I will say,
WWE does not have more titles than fucking ROH and AEW.
hey, Dan Eddy, can you look up who has more titles, WWE or AEW? Unless you are counting the Ring of Honor, then I think you would say AEW. But I do want to pull up the roster here real quick. Maybe I'll actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up on screen since we are live.
Let's do
that.
it, man.
WWE has significantly more championship titles than AEW, with WWE having a total of 23 titles across multiple brands and AEW having a smaller number of active titles.
All right, so let's see here. Let me take
Plus,
this off.
they borrow
And
some from other companies such as Ring of Honor.
There we go. Let's
and that's
see.
it.
Let's scroll down here. Obviously, we're talking about the women, so we're gonna skip all the men wrestlers here. And holy shit, they got a lot of people. All right, there's our women's roster right here. So I can tell you right off the bat, one of the teams that we have gotten for weeks, you have Anna Jay and Harley Cameron. They've been teaming together for months. You can go Anna Jay and Ty Mello, because they've had a friendship since like day one in AEW. Also, you have the new trio there with Julia, Toxic Spider and Sky Blue. Sky Blue and Julia Hart been teaming for a while. If you want to bring back Camilla, bring her back. You can have her team up with whoever she was with not that long ago. I forgot who she was with. Madison Reigns. There you go.
I
Somebody
don't think
that's
Camille's ever going to come back to AEW. I just have a feeling. I don't think Baker's ever going to come back.
I don't think so either. But I was going to say Megan Baines and Penelope Ford.
Megan Baines and Penelope Ford, that's one.
But, okay, you have to at least count friggin' Harley and Anna because they've been doing stuff together. We got two. We got two locked in.
You have to remember, I don't watch anything that's Collision related. So unless they're on Dynamite, I don't.
And that's why that's why you're lost. You're lost in the shuffle. Look at that. Wait, hold on. Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo. They've been teaming together since friggin'.
No, the people that haven't been on TV in close to a year. Okay.
The Renegade Twins. Thank you, Chris. Look at we got tag teams. They just haven't showcased them because they have nothing to fight for. Now with these women tag titles, they have something to fight for. And I think just in general, like my thoughts on this, even for WWE, like and TNA and all the bigger promotions out there, I like having tag titles because if the men have it, the women deserve to have it. Same with the mid-card title, same with the world title, because it gives all these women something to fight for. This is going to open up opportunities for some of the women that haven't been on television. And that's like my reasoning why I like this.
17 titles in WWE and 8 for AEW. You have to remember, WWE has 3 separate brands.
WWE has 23. AEW has 9. That's what I was going to say earlier.
So we have Raw, separate. Usually the champions don't promote unless there's like a big story going on. You have
there's 9 belts.
You know.
Yeah. 9 active championship titles, this says.
And I'm going to pull up Ring of Honor because I am just curious to see like how many titles they have so we can kind of like add the two in there. Because we got some time this week. We got some time. All right, let me pull up the roster here. All right, let's switch this out. Let's remove that. All right. And let's share this screen now for Ring of Honor. We're going to pull up the roster here real quick. Wow, I thought they had more championships than that. Holy shit. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, and then they have a new mid-card title for the women. So 8. But Ring of Honor is a whole separate brand. So, like, you can kind of say the same thing with Raw and SmackDown being separate, too. Like, you can kind of say Ring of Honor and AEW are separate.
So AEW and Ring of Honor have about 19 titles, and WWE has about 23. WWE has 3 separate brands also. They have Raw, SmackDown, NXT.
That is true. But you can't count the Ring of Honor championships with AEW because that's also separate.
Yes, you can because
you can't though. If you're saying if you're saying
have we seen defended on Dynamite?
But here's but there's been times where we've had the NXT title defended on a main brand. We've gotten that before. We've gotten main card titles defended on NXT before. So like if you are going to separate like the 3 brands, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, then you have to separate Ring of Honor and AEW. You can't have it both ways, Danny.
It's hard to separate when every week we see an ROH title show up at some point.
But you get the titles as like now you're okay. So if you're so now with NXT, you have to count the TNA titles. You have to count the AAA belts.
Okay.
You can't have it. You can't. Thank you, Crazy. Thank you.
I just don't think the tag titles really have any kind of significant meaning. I think the same thing about the fucking nothing is more dreadful than the fucking women's tag team division in WWE. Those tag team titles need to be fucking burned and incinerated like forever.
Even Tyrus here said it. They even kept both Speed titles. Jesus.
I
like the new concept.
All the fucking time.
I actually like the new concept for Speed.
I 50% agree with what you just said. The WWE women's tag team, they need to involve the NXT roster more. Because that NXT roster, they brought up Julia, they brought up Vakir, they brought up I feel like I'm missing somebody. But you watch NXT, anytime those women matches are going on, it's just pure cinema. With or without Booker T commentating. It's one of those things
Booker
where
T is great.
Lash Legend, she needs to get put over like fucking instantly. Like
I don't know why they ever broke up Jakara and Lash. Like, I thought they were a good tag team.
Jada Parker.
Yeah, Jada.
One thing I've noticed is WWE does not have a lot of NXT talent go up to like do things on like Raw or SmackDown very often. Like
they did have Josh Briggs and Javon Evans recently.
Lyra Valkyria, that was the one I was trying to think of. Lyra Valkyria. They brought up her not too long ago, and they're pushing
Javon
her.
Evans. That was for an open challenge between Sami Zayn, and that was because they were in Orlando, Florida.
That's it.
Where he fucking
That's
lived.
it. Open challenge for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles.
That could open up the door. Like whoever, like that
for
would not
NXT
be a bad idea.
Teams, WWE teams, TNA teams.
We never had tag team open challenges before. That is
boom,
something
I
new.
just solved Triple H need to hire me. I just solved the problem. But
Yeah,
no,
now that Dan Eddy's got a championship and a We Are Wrestling shirt that we don't have,
oh yeah.
Oh man.
No, but I agree with you, Danny. I kind of feel the same way when they have women's tag team titles for WWE, but they're not doing with it. Like who even has them now? Is it still Charlotte and Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, it better be Oba Femi who answers.
And since when have they been on TV as champions?
My thing is, I've been watching AEW long enough, and I have zero faith in Tony Khan that he'll actually bring prestige to these new titles. I feel like they're just we have women that team up occasionally. We need a title that they can fight for.
So
I like this because it gives talented women an opportunity. This is going to open up the door for some of the women that have been waiting for a chance.
And I think I want you to come on here and say I was right.
I'm never going to say that because I think that this is a good opportunity.
That one female with the red hair that's like braided, does the spear. She's got some sort of an accent.
She's with Sol Ruka. What's her name, Danny?
Yeah. That needs to be the first women's tag team. Zarya. That needs to be an official tag team, like with titles and everything, because them two, look out.
Because here's the thing, like, I might be like on the outside here, but like, I'm never gonna complain about more championships because it's just more opportunities for people that aren't being used. Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the shuffle with creative. Like right now, like I hate what they're doing with the United States women's title, and like
non-existent.
With like AEW, like I'm not a fan of some of the belts that they don't use consistently on TV. Like I think the trio title should be on television more, but there is only a certain amount of time. But for the women, because AEW does have a stacked women's locker room, WWE also has a stacked women's locker room. That's why I want to see tag titles, because this gives people something to fight for. Honestly, Penelope Ford and Megan Baines, they should be the first champions.
Is that AEW?
I just feel like the more titles you have, and I feel like this with WWE as well.
The Attitude Era had so many championships.
But my thing
we love that
is the more titles you have, the less prestigious they end up being, because then you're just fucking bringing titles on just to give the people at that point. You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna make
the titles that you have, you need to make feel important, because bringing in a new set of titles is not going to change that overnight. You know what I mean? And I just don't have faith that Tony Khan will be able to book these titles into fucking being like, as prestigious as they should be.
And we'll see what happens there. I'm sure it could be a lot better, but we haven't even seen what they've done yet with the belts. Like we haven't even seen what can happen, because sometimes they put the championship on the right person. Like you could do a complete 180. And we've seen that so many times with championships. Like the TNT belt. I remember for the longest time, that championship was bland until Christian Cage got the championship and made that title prestigious again. Like sometimes it depends on who holds the belt.
Real quick, if this is going to be happening, whether it's relatively soon or later on, they need to start forming teams now and keep the fans interested, because they can form teams of two wrestlers that you would never see coming as a tag team duo. I can't think of names right now because I don't watch AEW as much as I should, but they can have a tournament more so like, that's somebody just calling me, but it's sort of like, what what's the tournament that normally do with WWE. Anyways, they could do this sort of bracket style, and with the tag teams going back and forth, and when you're reaching the quarterfinals, semifinals, all that stuff, and keeping the fans interested. The teams that we would never see coming as a tag team duo can they'll start winning, and that way they can keep it interesting. Don't show the titles until the winners are announced and have a presentation in the middle of a ring, like what Triple H did when they introduced the World Heavyweight title like a couple years ago.
I do want to read this from Tyrus. So many that I wouldn't be surprised if they make inaugural NXT Championship, AEW Thumbtacks Championship, TNA Total Deletion Championship. All right, so the last thing I am going to say about the championships, and I'm just going to leave it as this. I think sometimes like it is the person that makes the championship, and I'm going into this with an open mind, and I do hope that like this does work for the women, because
I'll tell you
AEW
one thing.
Because AEW did really good, like with the tag division in like the early days.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to go over the card because we're going to do that in a little bit. But I'll tell you one thing. On this 6-year anniversary show of Dynamite, there's not one mention of anything that has to do with the women's tag team titles. So
Hey, we are getting a women's blood and guts, though. I am excited about that.
There's only 2 women on the show tonight, and that's Marina Shafir and Chris Statlander. And they're in a tag team match with, so.
Well, we'll see what happens. But moving on now to our next TV recap. Last Friday on SmackDown, everyone was talking about the women's triple threat match. Jade busted her face. Tiffany pitting Nia was botched. Fans are criticizing that Nia Jax is not a safe worker anymore. What's your thoughts on this train wreck of a match?
Donnie, give me the
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, so I don't know anything.
This match pissed me off. Not because I wanted Jade to win, regardless of who won. I just didn't want Nia Jax to win. And this is because that I did not want Nia Jax to win, because she's had history of not being respectful or playing too hard. I don't know what the verbiage is. Like not working well. Not a safe worker. There we go. She's had multiple incidents in the past. First of all, just get her out of the storyline with Tiffany Stratton in the title. She's had multiple chances to win the title. She has not. They don't have any backstage segments with the two of them anymore. Why the fuck is she going after the title? There we go. All right. First and then second, Jade put on one hell of a match. She lost, but that's okay. She got
her battle scar,
which was hot, by the way. May I add. Second of all, she had some great spots regardless of that part, and it was because of Nia Jax that made her bleed and get color. Nia Jax losing and getting pinned was the right call, but it's because I didn't want to see her win the title. This match should be done, redone, do over with a new opponent, because Tiffany Stratton needs new opponents other than Nia Jax and maybe Jade Cargill. They need Naomi back, now. And
there's so many talented women that they could be using.
There is.
Why are we not getting
me off the most?
No, the one name that
storylines.
The one name I'm thinking of right now that you could make such a good storyline with, and it would make total sense because they have similar personalities. Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton.
Yes.
Why are we not doing anything with them two?
Yes.
Chelsea the story Green, speaks
anybody
for
from
itself.
NXT, really. NXT Tiffany Stratton can have a open
No,
challenge.
she's a world champion. No. She's a world champion. She's got to go against established people.
Right.
NXT women, if you go to the main roster, there you go. Get some people with Julia in there. Right now, Chelsea Green would be the perfect person to have a storyline with Tiffany Stratton, because they both have similar personalities.
They've been pushing her with the Canadian thing as well, with Ethan Page, right? That's his name?
The Team Canada thing.
Yeah, Team Canada. So,
but I want to know your thoughts on this, Danny, because you see, I didn't watch this, and I've been praising Nia Jax since coming back to WWE. When you watch this, because I know there has been some wrestlers like Chelsea Green who have been defending Nia Jax. I want to know, like, was she unsafe in this match?
I don't think she was unsafe. I couldn't see, like, how she was gonna be unsafe, whatever. Still to this day, nobody knows how Jade Cargill got busted open. She did a Samoan drop to
I thought it was
Nia
the
Jax
steps.
on the stairs.
Yeah, I thought it
And
was the
then-
stairs.
And I thought she
Yeah,
hit her
she
face
did,
on the stairs.
I don't know. She did a Samoan drop to Nia Jax on the stairs or whatever, and then she came up and she had like a fucking gash on her eyebrow or whatever. But I don't think Nia Jax was necessarily unsafe. The whole thing was just a fucking shit show, How
was
the
a great
botch
match.
happened was
Yeah, she hit Crazy 101 confirmed. She did hit the steps, the corner of it. I think landing with the move, because that's one thing I did see on social media.
yeah. So how the botch happened was, if I remember correctly, now I haven't gone back and rewatched it, so I'm going just strictly off memory. And Dan Eddy, if I forget anything, feel free to jump in. But I think Cargill was going for the pin, and then
Wait, no, I thought it was Tiffany pinning Nia, and then
it might have been
referee.
Tiffany pinning Nia, and then
yeah, because I think in the graphic here it shows, Tiffany was pinning Nia.
Tiffany was pinning
well, yeah,
Nia,
but
yeah.
I'm talking about before that.
Oh,
So
beforehand.
before that, Cargill was pinning Nia Jax, and then Tiffany came in for the save to break it up.
Mhm.
Cargill rolled out of the ring or whatever the fuck she did, and then Nia Jax got pinned by Tiffany Stratton, and the referee went 1, 2, and then Nia Jax didn't kick out of nothing, and the
She was
referee
supposed to
just
kick out
stopped,
there.
and then went 2, 2, 2, 2, and then Nia Jax was like, oh, it seemed like she was like, oh shit, and then kicked out. So the
Yeah.
whole thing was just mediocre. And
Clearly off point.
and
Clearly.
then the next spot was literally Tiffany Stratton doing the moonsault and then
The
pinning
perfect
Nia Jax.
moonsault.
So you're telling me Tiffany Stratton was always gonna win? That was the goal.
She should have just hit the 3. The referee should have hit the 3. That's what I'm like getting out of this.
We're gonna get Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vaquera. We were never ever gonna get Jade Cargill winning or Nia Jax or whatever. So you're telling me if Tiffany Stratton was slated to win the entire fucking time, you could have just pinned 1, 2, 3 right there. Instead, she had to do one move to get the 3. The whole thing is just fucking a mind fuck.
I do have something to add. I don't know where I heard it from, but so when Jay did whatever to Nia, was pinning her, and Tiffany Stratton came to save the pin, and then Tiffany went for the pin. Jade was not supposed to roll out of the ring and supposed to break up that. So I think they were always planning on doing the perfect moonsault because that's what she does. That's her finisher.
Yeah.
And once the ref miscounted and Nia Jax didn't kick out, the ref went over around Nia Jax to whisper to Tiffany Stratton real quick until the camera cut off. But you can kind of tell that they were talking about something. And that's when immediately Tiffany Stratton went to do the perfect moonsault and then do the 1, 2, 3 pin. So maybe Jade was supposed to save that pin after she got knocked off Nia Jax. Who knows?
I do want to read a couple comments here in the live chat, and then we'll move on to our next topic. We got Different Styles. Welcome in. I think this is your first time. And right before that happened, Nia was talking to the ref. Miscommunication, I think. I do believe that was probably the case.
And I don't want to be too hard on the referee or whatever, because I will say, not that this is an excuse or whatever, but from what I know, I think she just recently lost her grandmother, because I remember she was getting shit on social media because of something, and everybody was assumed that it was wrestling related, and she just outed that she had lost her grandmother or whatever. So not that that's 100% an excuse, but I could understand why your head wouldn't be fully into what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always say mistakes happen, but if you're gonna give AEW shit for stuff like this, because they do get criticized a lot for things like this, I'm sorry, but you have to give shit to WWE, because if she mentally wasn't capable of doing her job, I'm sure she could have gotten the night off.
Yeah, 100%.
But let's see here. We do have a couple things. We got Crazy 101. Referee should have counted the 3. I think we all agree on that. If this is true, the ref was ordered to halt the count from her earpiece. So that is one thing, too, that a lot of people don't realize, because I do have friends that are in the wrestling business who are referees. Shout out to Jimbo from GCW. He's a We Are Wrestling listener. But with the earpiece and stuff, like, it is hard because you are communicating with the producer backstage. They talked about it in Unreal. But it is tough, but they should have counted the 3. I don't understand. This is an AEW mistake that should have never happened on WWE.
The one common thing I've heard from a lot of people is that there was miscommunication and that somebody was supposed to get involved in that. And if that is Jade Cargill, then, I mean, that's a pretty big screw up on her part. And somebody that, has been in WWE this long, but also...
Yeah, but then again, honestly, you know who I'm going to blame? Actually, I think I know whose fault this is for this horrible match. And nobody is ready to have this conversation, but I'm going to open up the can of worms because fuck it. It's the We Are Wrestling podcast.
It's Tiffany, isn't it?
Nope. It's not Tiffany's fault. It's not Jade's fault. It's not Nia's fault. It's not even the referee's fault. It's Triple H's fault. It's WWE's fault. You know why? Because how many weeks have they been pushing this match back? Weren't they supposed to be like the last pay-per-view? Weren't they supposed to be like 2 Fridays ago? Like,
it was supposed to be on Clash and Paris too.
No wonder why their heads are all fucking jumbled up right now. They can't even think straight because they have to keep freaking switching the weeks. They're probably the time spots are changing. Like, honestly, I don't blame anybody that was in the ring here. This is a backstage problem. And I think I'm surprised nobody's mentioned that.
And honestly, too,
I didn't even have to watch it to know.
This match has been pushed back so far that we knew Tiffany was going to win going into the match because she's supposed to face back here in what's it called? Crown Jewel.
What's up, Charlotte?
A week and a half. So it's not like she's going to lose the title a week and a half, 2 weeks before she's supposed to face Valkyrie in Crown Jewel with the championship because it's always been advertised as champion versus champion.
Yeah, so, Jade Cargill, usually I freaking put her on blast here. But in this case, I'm not, because I don't think she would have gashed her face if they didn't push this match back for freaking a month.
Yeah.
Her head wasn't there. Like, none of their heads were in the right place during this match, including the referee, because they keep pushing this match back.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it wasn't a triple threat match to begin with. It was just Tiffany Stratton versus Jade. Nia Jax wasn't involved in the beginning.
And then Nia Jax came back and, she got a promo, whatever, and she's been going after Tiffany Stratton wanting the title back. And,
and it goes back to my first point. Leave Nia Jax out because she's had her chance.
Bro, she was just doing stuff on NXT. You should have kept her there.
Yeah. Dude, her and Lash Legend, that'd be a great match. Like, come on.
Or
get Nia. That's what pissed me off because it was a great match to begin with.
Or get Nia Jax.
And then
get Nia Jax into the
Nia Jax wasn't supposed to be in there to begin with.
Let her and Julia do something. Like, there you go. If you want to put over Julia, this new superstar.
Julia's not doing
Nia Jax is established.
Let Julia and Nia Jax?
Yeah.
Julia's not doing fuck all with that title, bro.
I don't care if it's heel versus heel. Nia Jax is established. She can put over somebody like Julia, who's tough as nails. There you go.
Fuck it, dude. Jade versus Julia. At this point,
all right,
they don't care if we're creative.
Oh, they don't give a shit. All right, well, moving on now to a promotion that does give a shit. Love you, HBK. Last Saturday on NXT No Mercy, Ricky Saints defeated Obafemi to win the NXT Championship. What's your thoughts on the new face of NXT?
I like it. I've been watching Ricky Saints a lot more recently, and tuning into NXT for other reasons too. But I've been watching Ricky's matches, and it's well deserved. He was only here for 3 months because I think he joined at the beginning. Of the summer.
He joined February 2000.
Oh, okay, so a little longer. Yeah. So it's well deserved.
Beginning of the year.
It was great. It was great.
I'm happy, man. Yeah, everybody knows I'm a massive fan of Obafemi. That dude is a fucking monster in every possible way. He's got the size, he's got the athleticism, he's got the speed.
Aura.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, could you imagine him on the main roster against somebody like Brock, somebody like Braun Reed, somebody like Braun Breaker?
He better beat all of them.
Seth and fucking Punk. Like, bro, he would kill in every single match. I think this was time. I think this was the right moment, the right time. They played a wonderful video package with Ricky Saints on NXT last week. And they showed where he grew up and how he lost his childhood home there, like Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans.
Yeah,
or
because I
whatever.
think I think when he debuted with AEW, they did something similar too with his debut.
It was
Talking
just
about
phenomenal,
struggles.
whatever. And they really made Ricky Saints into the star that he should have been when he was in AEW. You know what I mean? It never seemed like Tony Khan really wanted to push him to that next level. But WWE were like, we know what we have in this guy, and we just got to showcase them a little bit more to the world. I'm hoping that, and me and Donnie talked about this. I'm hoping this is sort of gonna be like what Obafemi needs to get the call up from WWE to the main roster.
And
Because
wait, I want to kind of tag myself in here. I think the best way to bring Obafemi to the main roster, have him face Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. And I think a lot of people have been saying this throughout the entire live chat. Let Obafemi win the U.S. Championship on his debut on SmackDown.
Yeah.
What better way to make an impact than win the championship your first night on the main roster? That's why Carlito got over instantly with the crowd. He beat John Cena his first night on the main roster.
100%.
Hey, Donnie, real quick, the putting over list you sent me.
Yeah.
Do you have one that's before episode 76? I'm trying to find somebody in particular.
No, sometimes nope. These are all like legitimate. Like there are some weeks where we couldn't do getting put over.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But I will say this, like with Ricky Saints, I haven't been the biggest fan of his booking in NXT, but hear me out real quick. Now I'm invested because I've been following Ricky Saints' career going all the way back to NWA Power when they first relaunched NWA. And I've always saw something in him. I've always been a big fan of Ricky. And I thought AEW definitely missed the ball with him. But everybody has said for years that Ricky Starks is a main event guy. He's a world champion. Now that he's the face of NXT, this is where I'm going to really pay attention to his run. I want to see how he does in his matches with the PLEs defending the title in the main event. I want to see how he does with the storylines with people because Ricky Starks is that guy. He gets compared to The Rock. That's one of the biggest names I hear. So now with him being the face of NXT, because he's never gotten this opportunity before, being a world champion, now is where I'm going to forget what he did from February to now. I'm paying attention to right now, and I want to see if Ricky Starks can be absolute. Can he be that guy? This is the real test for me, and I do hope that Ricky proves that he is that guy.
I feel like that was a real test for him too, because like Obafemi is like,
I didn't like the finish of the match.
Didn't?
That was the only thing I didn't like. I wasn't a fan of the finish. It wasn't believable to me. But then again, it is hard because Oba has been built like a Brock Lesnar in NXT too.
Yeah,
so it is kind of hard.
And like Obafemi's not just gonna fucking let up. You're like he's gonna see if you're really worthy or not, because like he made the NXT title relevant again. I feel like in a lot of ways.
Because around the time there really wasn't any and unfortunately with his run there really wasn't anybody worthy to face him for the championship. Because like that's how you knew like they really didn't have anybody when they were putting Jasper Troy against him. Nothing against Jasper, but he just won LFG, and you would think that maybe he would go after like the North American Championship. Or like he would just work his way to the title instead of just going right for it. So like Oba didn't really have the right opponents, but he did a really good job under the circumstances given.
100%. And it's got to be like, I just want to see like.
That takes a lot of skill. That takes a lot of talent.
On SmackDown Friday, do we get like a surprise? Because, Sammy does the open challenges.
I hope so.
Are we going to get the call up? You know what I mean?
Oba's got to be the guy.
Being at NXT Homecoming, Triple H and Shawn Michaels both, had that conversation, and they really talked about, who they think are ready to be called up and who they think are not ready to be called up. I feel like Obafemi was on that list of people that need to be called up.
He's
I'm
up
sure
next.
that list
1,000%.
has got to be quite long, to be honest.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. I think, but now, because I don't think they're trying to rush people anymore. Like, they're actually trying to take their
Yeah, they're
time.
not.
They want to organically bring people up. I think
That
Oba,
has-
it's
That
time.
has been the case because the
Because
last
there's no
few
reason
people,
why they would let him lose the belt. And then
the last few people that they brought up, Lara Valkyria, huge push. Valkyr, already won the title.
Stephanie,
Stephanie, Julia, Roxanne already has a storyline and winning. I believe a title.
yeah, I believe so.
Bro, when we get
No,
that, when we
Women's
get Liv
World
Morgan
Championship.
back and we get that Roxanne and Liv Morgan feud, bro, that's gonna.
Ooh,
that's gonna be
please.
phenomenal.
I'm
I
waiting
can't
for it.
wait.
But I do want to read some of these comments before we do move on to our next topic here, because I know we have a long getting put over. So let's see. We got Angelo here in the live chat. He deserves it. I hate the people saying it's just developmental, but they weren't saying that when Ethan Page had it or when Finn Balor went back in 2020. I think that like NXT at this point isn't the developmental. Like I think a lot of people need to realize, like, because I watch LFG, I watch the highlights of Evolve. That's your developmental right now in WWE is Evolve, the WWE ID stuff, and LFG. NXT is technically, to me, a third brand. It's separate from Raw and SmackDown, but it's not a developmental.
Yeah.
Which I think like they're trying to make LFG that developmental, except like add like a reality touch to it. Which I freaking love LFG. Like next week's the finale, and I'm doing a whole extra, like talking about the entire season, which I can't wait. But let's see here. Or I can see Dom and Cena. Ricky Saints from face to heel during the championship run will be absolute. That is what I want to see, because I know Ricky is a way better heel than a babyface. And I think that he's going to be one of those guys like CM Punk when he had that 400 day title run as WWE champion. He's going to go from being a face to a heel at some point.
The one thing
that's when I think Ricky is going to grow on me in WWE is when he becomes a heel.
The one thing I will say that I hope happens is I do kind of feel like, and I feel like this is like a broken record. I feel like I say this a lot, but I mean, it's true. If you're going to be the face of a company, you need to look a certain way. I do think Ricky Starks needs to put on a little bit more muscle. That'd be like
I was thinking that too. Yeah, if he's going to be a big star,
he's got the wrestling skill.
He's got the promo skills. He's got the look.
Just transfer. Look at fucking that dude from Private Party. Mark Quinn. Like that dude
he's
is
yoked.
He is fucking yoked out of his mind. You know what I mean? You can definitely tell he's getting ready for WWE.
Oh yeah, he's ready to go, Danny. He's ready to go. Which I don't know if you do this, Danny, but with Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, they actually did a lot of stuff back in the day, like with Blitzkrieg in the early days before getting signed to AEW.
There's some footage of it on YouTube. I looked up.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, guys, let's get into our quick We Are Wrestling Podcast weekly news and rumors. And this week we only have two, and one of them will it'll be a quick one because we've kind of already talked about Ken TNA be the number 2. But I do want to talk about this situation here with former NXT star Jasmine Nix, who is no longer with WWE. This is what she said about her release, and I quote, "Ultimately, it came down to the work I was putting in and being booked for what was not accurate with the amount I was being offered. And no, I was not making 6 figures, but that is the goal. Not significantly my injuries, but the wear and tear that the job had on my body was one of the reasons. I was wrestling for both TNA and NXT every Tuesday and on the weekends without a day off. According to Fightful, WWE sources did confirm that they did want to retain Jasmine, but were unable to budge from their offer. The claims from inside NXT was that she was about $75,000 or on her deal, which is the same amount that was being offered to a new multi-year deal. It wasn't said if that was escalate over time. When one person on Instagram commented that NXT wrestlers make $80,000 to $150,000, Jasmine noted that it wouldn't have been an issue if that was the case. One NXT talent said that she's likely end up with less than $60K after taxes and still not including the cost of gear and the likes. What are your thoughts on this whole situation here? Because there is two sides to this situation. Because with Jasmine, a lot of people think that like she doesn't really have the passion for professional wrestling, which is why she's not re-signing. She doesn't feel like she has to go out and prove herself. She feels like she already did with this first deal with WWE. But then there's another side of it where like she is with the WWE. She is doing house shows because NXT still does those. She is doing NXT and TNA now, that she deserves to get a little bit of a raise. How do we feel about this? Because like there really is like two coins with this situation. And even legends are mixed about this too. Like Booker T thinks like she's justified. Bully doesn't think so. Like it's really a 50-50. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts.
He always has those hot takes that make people talk, but in reality, those are just stupid ass takes. So it gets people talking now. So any news
Bully
is
Ray
news,
is
I
like
guess.
one of the hosts of one of the most popular fucking pro wrestling podcasts, fucking radio shows or whatever on the planet. So I feel at this point, I feel like everything that he says is just to garner interest.
He is the wrestling version of Skip Bayless.
I agree with you on that. 1,000%.
I was gonna say Howard Stern, but a little
or
less
Howard
graphic.
Stern. Yeah. I'm gonna preface it by saying that I've only watched like maybe 2-3 matches of Jasmine Nix's. But I mean, I could tell the passion was there. Maybe she wasn't giving 100% effort. But if this is just like a straight up contract dispute, I feel like this can sort itself out. I mean, you see it all the time happen in the NFL where it's either they get a deal done or they get traded or they sign somewhere else. With Jasmine Nix's situation, it's one of those things where I feel like it's just part of the creative doesn't want to add storylines for her as well, secretly. Like, kind of low key, that could be a reason as well.
Maybe
but they're
they
throwing
don't,
it out
maybe they don't
saying
feel
that
like
it's
she's worth the money.
yeah.
Here's my thoughts on it. I don't know much about Jasmine Nix. I have seen some of her work or whatever. She was, obviously 1/3 of Fatal Influence. I do think she's justified in a way. Just knowing like how this business is, the cost of living, like she's on, she broadcasted on fucking television every single week on Tuesdays. She even does stuff on Thursdays on Impact or whatever. I feel like everybody on your show, like if you're touting that, we made $1 billion this term, or we signed fucking $10 billion fucking Netflix deals and all this, like if you have talent on your show, regardless of what they're doing, like if they're showcased on TV, I'm not talking about the people sitting back and catering, but if they're showcased on your TV weekly and what is supposed to be a really big trios team, I guess you can say. I mean, Jacy Jane the NXT champion, the women's
And
champion.
she was,
She
was the former TNA Knockouts champion too.
Exactly. Like, if you're gonna be showcased on TV weekly, I feel like you need to be paid. I'm not talking about she needs fucking Roman Reigns money, but I feel like everybody should be paid equal amount. Everybody should be paid a livable wage. You know what I mean? Just knowing how the wrestling business is, like, not to like get too personal into my business, but I've even told you guys, like, bro, like, if she makes $60,000 after taxes, my sister makes like almost 30,000 more than she does, and my sister works at fucking Walgreens. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like she's justified.
Yeah, like even with my shoot job, if she's making 60,000 like after taxes, like I'm like halfway there to her. I will say this, like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, you keep saying that WWE NXT is considered a third brand. It's not developmental, yet one of your NXT stars who's established, who has been on your shows every Tuesday, is getting paid like a developmental star. I think that she is due for a raise. I think especially if people in NXT are doing stuff with TNA, I think they do deserve a little bit of a bump because they are putting in more work. Because you have to also realize NXT still does the house shows. They are starting to get out of Florida a little bit doing those, which is a good thing because I feel like if you want to get better at your craft, I think that you need to go to house shows. You need to put in the work because that's just how you get better. You work in front of a crowd.
I do kind of feel like we do have to mention this. This is all the 60,000. It doesn't involve any royalties off merch or anything like that. This is strictly like contract. You know what I mean? So we don't know how much she was making on merchandise. If they were getting, because I don't know how much they do it now, but they used.
Well,
to,
she would have to split it 3 ways because she is in that fact. She was with the faction.
But, I know, they used to if you won at a pay-per-view, if you were on a big match at a PLE or whatever, you would get, an extra 20, 30,000 bonus or whatever. I don't know how much they do that now, but that 60,000 was only strictly for the contract. After taxes, how much she was bringing in gross income, we don't know anything about how much she was making on merch and other stuff like that. I don't know.
But I'll tell you this right now. I will say one thing that was really stupid on Jasmine's part was doing that video with her boyfriend with the whole wrestling is fake shit. I know a lot of people didn't like that. I wasn't a fan of it.
I don't think I don't. This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Well, I'll give you my thoughts because I did watch the video here. So she was in a wrestling ring with her boyfriend. Yep, you're good. So basically what happened here, just for context, I think some of the maniacs here in the live chat know, but basically the situation was she did a video with her boyfriend and she was making him do some of the rolls, some of the bumps, and he was hurting from it, but then afterwards he was kind of joking around being oh, this is fake and stuff. And come on now, you're trying to justify that you deserve more money, yet you're pretty much making your boyfriend put WWE and your profession on blast, saying it was fake. That's kind of where I'm you know what? Maybe you don't deserve that re-sign with WWE.
I think
in that case,
if there's a wrestler like her, for example, if she uses the word fake in a serious type of context when it comes to describing
her boyfriend did say the word fake multiple times in that video,
and she agreed with it.
She was just giggling about it.
Okay. So I haven't watched the video or heard about it. This is my first time hearing about it.
Honestly, I don't think we can get copywritten for it. So I'm going to pull up the video.
If she doesn't discredits him or disagrees with him,
it is off her social
media. Then
so
I don't think she would be deserved a longer contract, because if you're not going to fight for the business, why would the business keep you
involved? 1,000% facts. I am going to pull up the video here. Let's see. Jasmine Nix, because I think it's a 2-minute video, but might as well pull it up so that you guys do have some context here, because I do see here in the live chat a lot of people haven't seen this. How the hell do I spell her name? Dan Eddy.
Jasmine J-A-Z
G-A-Z
M-Y-N.
There we go. I got it.
This is N-Y-X.
I'm going to pull up the video because it is on her social medias, just so you guys kind of see what it is here, because we won't get copywritten for it. So let me pull up the video here with her boyfriend.
Okay.
All right.
That's going to be interesting.
Haha, thank you, Ringside News. Whoop. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up. We are live every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nice little plug for the audio listeners there.
Angelo, she signed with WWE in 2022. So.
Yep. All right, here we go. So going to X right now. And let's see. I'm going to just separate this. And let's play it.
Of testing out me and my
Because you're in a headlock. It's real. This is real.
Yeah, no, this is real.
It's close. Oh.
Today is day 11 of testing out.
So this is the video that's getting her a lot of heat.
And today we're doing her profession, which is wrestling. I have no idea what the I'm doing in here. Shout out to Legend Social Casino for letting us be here today. Any words of encouragement?
Good luck.
Any advice?
You always say how easy it is, so let's see. Show me.
I don't say it's easy.
Yes.
It's just fake.
So you don't even have to twitch your head.
Do I look like Jeff Hardy? That's my idol.
Hey, we are putting over Jeff
What do
Hardy
you
up
mean?
next.
All right, this is easy. This is the start. Good.
I'm like a young Jeff.
Okay, there you go.
No, Jade.
Second row. Go. Yes. Yay.
That felt like shit.
He's freaking huffing and puffing.
It's almost fun.
Hands close. Oh.
I can't go down slow.
Tuck to right. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Quick, do a spear.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That was good. Good job.
I think Gary the Snail could go
You're
faster
like a
than that.
fucking chick, bro.
One hand, so your left arm goes on the back of the neck.
Yep.
Good.
Don't slap
Ow,
me like
don't
don't slap me like
Right one goes right here. Ow.
you hit me.
A lot of people
If
go.
I was in a
to
real
the-
match with you, I'd. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Come on.
Nice. Push you back.
God, I hate casuals.
Oh, I'm wrestling. I gotta. You giving. I
Bro,
gotta
how do you hate
give.
a fucking
Because you're gonna have, like,
WWE
it's real.
chick and
This
you're
is real.
fucking,
Yeah, no,
like,
this is
talking
real.
shit about pro wrestling.
What are you?
I don't
Fuck this. Son of a bitch. All right, guys, we just got done wrestling. That shit sucked. Everything on my body hurts right now. But I will tell you one thing. That's fake. Now let me show you something that's real. Okay, we're gonna go put in a parlay with Legend Social Casino. We got Tennessee.
All right, and that's where we could leave it off. That's where
Yeah.
we could leave it off. So pretty much like from this side of it, like she is getting some heat from
My
WWE
wife is making a
legends
special
and stuff.
appearance.
Mrs. Huckins!
I gotta go to work.
Vicky, we're live.
Hi.
Check out my belt. Look at my belt.
Is it real?
Of course, real gold.
It looks too shiny to be real.
You're
Oh
not
my
real.
God, Riri, no.
But yeah, with that incident that happened there, a lot of people aren't happy about it. That's
I can
why,
see
like,
why.
that's like kind of like why I'm a little bit like, is she like worthy of getting re-signed?
I
After
gotta
that-
say, after watching that video, I don't see much hate being on her. It's more so her boyfriend. But then again, she didn't like.
She posted it.
She didn't disagree with it. That's the thing. It was more. It was her boyfriend saying the word fake.
Tyrus here at the live chat. Nobody sold wrestling while hurting and still called it fake. Yeah.
The guy did a somersault and automatically came to the conclusion that wrestling is fake.
Didn't even take a real bump. But pretty much that's the video that a lot of people now are talking about. And I will say, like, I do think, like, if you are on TV consistently, like, I do agree with Danny there. Like, if you are being consistent and you are considered a third brand and you're not developmental, you deserve to be getting paid at least $100,000 or more, at least on the contract side of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like my belief on it. But let's move on to our last We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors topic, and then we'll get into the getting put over. But this one we don't have to spend a lot of time on because we did a whole episode on whether or not we think TNA could be number 2 behind AEW. So during an interview with Lucha Libre Online, Santino Marella says TNA will be the number 2 promotion once they have a television deal. Here's what Santino said. We're knocking on the door. You better look out because once we get that TV deal, we're number 2, man. I know Tony Khan has lots of money. I get it, but the fans speak. The fans dictate who's number 1, number 2, number 3, not your bank account. Of course, WWE is number 1. They're so far ahead that we'll never catch it in my lifetime. Number 2 is attainable. Number 2 is something we can really do. If we accomplish that, that's humongous. What are your thoughts on Santino's statement? Do you think TNA could be number 2, given a TV deal?
I 100% agree. Real quick, how long has TNA been around?
Since 2002.
2002. They deserve it. AEW's been around for 6 years. Now, granted, they've been doing some great things.
Well, they were number
TNA
2 for years. They were until the whole.
Okay.
They used to be
Dixie
on
Carter
Spike
incident.
TV, bro. They used to fucking
Pull in 4
they used
million.
to pull in 2.5 million viewers on Spike TV back in like 05.
Okay, now I
06.
see the real, like the actual competition. Then I can see the angle there. I think that the TNA being number 2, they've been pushing it more and more with these invasions, the Hardy Boys being on Kai Sinet's live stream, getting the name out there. They're getting a TV deal hopefully soon. Like, it's just they're setting the tone. They're setting up for a real big push.
Crazy 101. It does not give a nobody cares
What
about
comment for the audio listeners?
Nobody cares about in ring. It's all about story. Story trumps everything. You can have a 5-star match all day long. Nobody's gonna remember it. You have to have a story to go along with that.
That's not true.
I know that's true for me.
Now, from your perspective as a pro wrestling fan, yes. But like I always say here on the We Are Wrestling podcast, we all look at pro wrestling from a different lens. There's people that appreciate more the art that happens in the ring than the storytelling. But then there's other people that, like you and myself, who respect the storytelling more than the in-ring art. But that's the thing too. Like some people rate what happens in the ring, the 5 stars, more than the soap opera of pro wrestling. It's just everybody has a different perception when it comes to what they enjoy in pro wrestling.
I enjoy this. I'm weird, okay? I enjoy the storytelling
I wouldn't
and like
say
the
you're weird.
backstage stuff more than I do like the in-ring. Like I
But
don't
that's
watch-
not, but Danny, that's not weird. That's normal. That's okay. That's what you enjoy. You enjoy a solid buildup that leads to something big.
Now,
There's
I
nothing
will
wrong
say,
with that.
I cannot verify that, like Crazy 101 says, like AW has had better stories than TNA or whatever. I can't verify that because I haven't watched TNA on a consistent basis since like 2012. Since Jeff Hardy had like short hair and he was like a heel or whatever. But I will say with this partnership with NXT, with the stuff that they're doing now, with, you know, think of everybody that they have on the roster. They have the Hardys. They're going to be going up against the Dudleys. It's a massive story there. They have Matt Cardona. They have all these guys in sign to TNA and not sign to TNA, but still making appearances.
Now that's what I want to bring up.
And once they get a TV deal to where they're syndicated nationally, which I think is going to be Spike TV because it would make sense. I feel like TNA has a great chance to be a number 2.
And
I think it needs to be live. It does not. Nobody wants a fucking show that's taped.
Donnie, before you go, real quick, would it be Spike TV or would USA Network make more sense?
No, probably the CW because they're on NXT right now. I have a feeling Bound for Glory weekend, they're going to make the TV deal announcement. They're going to. They have to have, because this has been built up all year like long, and I think that they've definitely built up enough stock to get a television deal. And the CW did say they're interested. I don't remember what source, but it is there. But here's like what I want to say about the contract situation. I love TNA. I'm going to Bound for Glory next Sunday.
Nice.
I've been a huge TNA fan since 2005, but without those exclusive contracts and without that checkbook that TKO and Tony Khan have, TNA will not be a number 2 in the situation because half of their roster right now in TNA are not even under contracts. They are doing per appearance deals. Yes, they are. A lot of them are loyal, like the Hardy Boys. I think the Hardys are doing appearance deals. They're not even signed to an exclusive contract with TNA. They are loyal, but here's the thing. Instantly, like if they get a TV deal, you never know. WWE could sign somebody like that. AEW could sign somebody like that. Because that's the thing. Having people that are non-exclusive, that's going to be a big problem for TNA. And I think once they get that TV deal, if they can't get wrestlers like Matt Cardona, Jeff and Matt under a contract, they're going to have a lot of problems being number 2 because AEW can at least lock in a John Moxley, an MJF, all these larger than life stars like Kenny Omega, Okada, Will Ospreay, Swerve. In the WWE, of course, they're big names. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth, they're all locked into exclusive contracts where they can't go anywhere else. That's why I'm saying TNA being a number 2 promotion, I want to see it happen because I want the competition with TNA and AEW, but they really are going to need an investor. They are going to need a lot more money to compete with AEW.
Exactly. And AEW is only number 2 because it's fucking ran by a billionaire. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing. TNA back in the day was number 2 because they had the Carters. They had a millionaire that could afford
I know, this is coming from somebody that doesn't watch TNA on a regular basis. I watch maybe once every 6 months or whatever. I much prefer TNA over AEW in some ways because they tell better stories. You know, I'm not about 5-star matches. You need 5-star matches. You need good matches that entertain people or whatever. But without story, the matches are meaningless. Literally.
Okay, but you say you prefer TNA over AEW, on your YouTube channel, Danny Huckins PW, which he does live watch-alongs for. Nice little plug. You be watching AEW more than TNA.
That's because, I told you the reason that is, I don't want to stop watching AEW, and I stopped watching I went, almost 2 months without watching and keeping.
So you're really watching it to hate on it, then.
But, I'm not watching it to hate on it. I don't want to stop watching it and then have them put on a really good show and then me be like, oh, I could have watched that, you know? I want AEW to be successful. I just have no faith in Tony Khan.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. I think AEW has been putting on good shows this year. That's just me personally. But we all see wrestling.
Maybe two good Dynamites this entire year. In my
I disagree, but hey, we all have different opinions when it comes to this. Well, JD is Daddy's idol. I will give him that.
He's not my idol. He inspired me to want to make content creation. You do content and stuff like that.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I've been making content since before I made my first YouTube channel when in fucking 2010.
I started in 2009. All right. Well, with that being said, now let's get into our stacked We Are Wrestling Getting Put Over segment. Every week we do this thing called the Getting Put Over segment. We pick one past, present, or future professional wrestler and we put them over. We talk about the defining moments, the accolades, the rivalries, the segments, and our biggest what-ifs. It's time to put a new wrestler over in the We Are Wrestling Getting Put Over segment. Oh, man, we're back with the We Are Wrestling podcast, Getting Put Over segment. And real quick, before we put over this individual that Danny Huckins picked for this week, I do want to give a quick shout out to FC Toys for their new Hardy Boy bone crunching figures that just came out. I actually just got these in the mail yesterday. I did a nice little YouTube short over on the toy channel here and just wanted to put these over. FC Toys are doing a really good job with their
I want to tell you guys a little
nice little independent company.
I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story, man, and this goes along with my Hardy Boys fandom or whatever. So back in 2001, right? I used to try and go to Toys R Us whenever I could to try and find the Hardy action figures, but it just seemed like toys weren't easily accessible back then, you know, around 2000, 2001 or whatever. And I got so desperate that I used to find pictures of the Hardy action figures, and I used to cut them out of magazines, and I would glue them to cardboard, and I would use those as the action figures because I couldn't find any Hardy Boys action figures.
I love that. That's
cute.
Sick.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. KB Toys was the shit. Absolutely. And nice little plug. If you guys are into wrestling figures and stuff, I have a whole separate channel. Best one, Donnie, which is actually not in the links below because I'm not even supposed to be here this week. But you can go subscribe to Best One Donnie for like awesome WWE action figure videos. But yes, this week, guys, we are putting over the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, one half of one of the greatest tag teams of all time. We did put over Matt Hardy a while ago, but this week was Danny's pick, and we do have some new maniacs in here. We got 22 people. Appreciate all the love and support, guys. And this is the way we do things for the Getting Put Over. We like to talk about the accolades. We like to talk about our favorite title runs, favorite matches, favorite segments, favorite year, favorite rivalry, and a what-if scenario. And there's something new I want to add, and I'm going to save it for the end for this Getting Put Over, and you can let me know what you guys think of it afterwards. But I think it's a fun little scenario here. But let's get into our Getting Put Over with Jeff Hardy. And the way we like to do this to start off is the accolades. And oh my God, Daddy, this took me a long time. So to all the maniacs, thank me later. Host with the most, baby. All right, well, Jeff and Matt, they were 6-time WWE World Tag Team Champions. They are a 1-time WCW World Tag Team Champions from the Invasion angle, 1-time WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, 1-time WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They are also 4-time TNA Tag Team Champions, and they are the current champs right now. Jeff Hardy is a 1-time WWE Light Heavyweight Champion, a 3-time WWE Hardcore Champion, a 1-time WWE European Champion, 5-time WWE Intercontinental Champion, 1-time WWE United States Champion, 1-time WWE Champion, a 2-time WWE World Champion, 3-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, 2012 TNA Wrestler of the Year. 2012, Jeff Hardy won the Bound for Glory series, which got him the World Championship title shot that later on ended up winning the belt. And in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine in 2007, 2012, and 2017, he was the Comeback Wrestler of the Year. And his highest ranking in a Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500 was back in 2007, and he was ranked, or 2013, and he was ranked number 7. Also in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, him and Matt Hardy won Tag Team of the Year back in 2000. Well, and there's a lot more accolades, but there's only so much time we have here.
Yeah.
So, what is your guys' favorite title run? And Ben was supposed to be here, so I get to start this off. And we might as well move Daddy Huckins to number 2 and Daddy to number 3. Hey, you're the champ. You're the champ. We're saving the best for last.
You hate me because you ate me. Go ahead.
All right, well, favorite title run. I'll start this off. I had to go with his TNA World Championship run. Even though it was short, I don't know. I loved this heel Jeff Hardy. It sucks that he wasn't healthy during this time, but there was a lot of promise here with what they were going to do because they really built this up with like Immortal and stuff.
Which one was this?
This was in TNA, 2010.
Bro, my favorite entrance around this time, and I still sometimes like find myself like going back to rewatch it, is when he's like when he's coming out and he's like smoking a cigarette or whatever, just acting all fucking cool and shit. Like, and then he gets in the ring and beats somebody. I can't remember who he was in the ring with at that time, but that's like, you know,
even that championship was nice too. Omar, what a resume. We got different styles. LOL, give that dude his flowers. Absolutely. This is what we like to do every week. Different styles. We like to give wrestlers their flowers in this segment.
Oh, yeah.
But
100%.
what do you got, Daddy? What's your favorite title run?
My favorite title run has to be Armageddon 2008 when he won the WWE title for the first time, because like I feel like that was something that like people assumed it was gonna happen, but they weren't sure, especially with like all of Jeff's like, you know, personal issues that were going on or whatever. Like, he was never one of the guys that was trustworthy all the time. You know what I mean? So like, you don't want to give the title to somebody, you know, just for some bad stuff. Could you imagine him being WWE champion and then fucking getting a DUI? Or, like, that would have been, you know, a black eye on WWE. So like just the idea of them seeing this guy and being like, you know what, we're going to trust you with, the biggest prize in this company and give you the WWE title. I mean, that just speaks volumes. You know what I mean?
And there really wasn't anybody on the opposite brand of John Cena who's more popular than Jeff around this time. So it definitely made sense.
The new thing is saying that at one time Jeff Hardy was more popular than Obama.
That is true. What do you got, Dan Eddy?
So I went a year behind Danny and said his 4th IC title in 2007 to 2008. The matches he had weren't particularly eye-opening. He had I did have it up 1 second. 2007 to 2008. Well, he did held it for 190 days. He did fight people like Shelton Benjamin, Umaga, Chris Jericho. Weren't a lot of great matches, but it's a fun fact that it's his only singles WWE title he's held for over 100 days.
Wow.
2007, I think, is when he did that massive swanton off the Raw stage onto Randy Orton.
Yeah, I think
I'm probably missing a moment or two. He just had so many moments. The favorite segment part, and favorite moment, I spent an hour trying to find mine for that because there are so many of them that are my favorites.
There's
I
many,
can see that.
Bro, Jeff Hardy's been a part of so many different moments. It's really, honestly,
it's
really
hard to keep track of.
All right, well, we might as well get into it. Our favorite match of Jeff Hardy's, and I'll start this off here. And I saw you guys were doing a lot of WWE answers. I did a WWE answer. I went with Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk SummerSlam 2009, their ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was, to me, an instant classic. Two guys that legitimately hated each other, and this was just such a good feud. I felt like Jeff Hardy was really the one that brought CM Punk into the main event scene. There's nobody I will give those flowers to other than Jeff Hardy.
When I really think about it, and after you had just refreshed my memory with this, the similarities between the feud that Jeff Hardy had with CM Punk and that now CM Punk has with Seth Rollins is eerily similar. Rollins is this guy, he's mad that, CM Punk left and he trashed the business, and now he sees the business is booming again. He wants to come back. And it's kind of how CM Punk at that time felt like Jeff Hardy. Bro, you have all these accolades. You have people just throwing money and titles at you and moments or whatever, and you're just squandering them away with your fucking bullshit. The similarities are crazy.
Wait, real quick. Angelo, you said now you need a Danny statue again. Oh,
there is one.
Right there. Look at that. We got all 4 of us.
Yeah, look at me, man. I've never looked so good.
All right. Well, what do you have here for us, Danny? What's your favorite match?
I got to go with TLC 2, man. WrestleMania 17. You guys already know how I feel about WrestleMania 17. I think it's almost a perfect WrestleMania. Nothing is ever perfect. There's things that could have been changed or whatever made better. But for me, the age I was, this was the last WrestleMania I remember seeing, when my mom was alive. There's just a lot of nostalgia ties to WrestleMania 17 or whatever. And I honestly don't think, there was one bad match on the card. You had Taker and Triple H. You had Shane and Vince,
Angle
which was a
versus
fucking
Benoit.
banger. You had Steve Austin and The Rock in the video package or whatever.
Oh, My Way, my God,
My Way with Olympus,
greatest video package of all time.
I think this was the Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit too, or something like that.
I think it was.
Yep.
And to me, maybe the match order wasn't the best, but this was it doesn't get. If there was ever such a thing as a perfect WrestleMania, it was WrestleMania 17.
Man, that's how I feel about WrestleMania 21. That's how I feel. But WrestleMania 17 is in my top 3 easily. But what do you got, Dan?
So I was going through this in a way. I was thinking him as a tag team partner and also as a singles competitor. So I did 2 things for a lot of these different favorites. So the favorite match, the tag team match, I did this one as well at WrestleMania 17. Edge, Christian, the Hardy Boys, and then the Dudleys. I was rewatching the match, and I forgot how many great spots there were. I just listed some of them off. Like Danny was mentioning the other one, this one where Edge speared Jeff Hardy in midair. Spike Dudley came and tornado DDTing everybody. Christian through a table, and then Ryan spearing Matt Hardy through a table. And then, of course, this spot right here. And then you had Lita getting the 3D, and then also she took her shirt off. So that was nice. This ended up being the 7th out of the 50th greatest WrestleMania matches in history. And that is for a good reason. Not just Lita's boobs, but like so many great spots. And then for singles match, I chose Armageddon 2008, which was a triple threat match with Edge, Jeff Hardy, and Triple H. The ending was crazy with Jeff breaking up the pinfall with a swanton and then stealing the victory from Triple H. Rewatching it was just crazy energy throughout the entire thing. And just looking at it as a card, like just on the card, Edge, Jeff Hardy, and Triple H, 3 of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I mean, you throw Stone Cold in there, and I wouldn't know what to do. Like I would
there you go, Mount Rushmore's.
And he wins the WWE Championship, like Danny was mentioning earlier. His first WWE Undisputed Championship.
And like just like that shot right before
right here
fades to black or whatever, he's on top of the entrance ramp or whatever. Like
when he won the championship.
It was like an Armageddon type castle thing or whatever. And he's just up there and he's just holding the title. Like that was just such a great, fantastic moment.
Yeah, because then in Matt Hardy, he was the ECW champ around that time too.
Yeah, Matt Hardy came out and they hugged each other, and it was just a feel good moment because like people always expected it was going to happen because of how over Jeff was, but with his personal issues, like you could never you didn't want to give him the title, and then you
didn't believe it
later,
until it happened.
Going to happen.
You
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But moving on to our favorite segment, which I believe different styles. The run with Undertaker was good. That was Ben's. I do know that was his answer. Yep. He did love Undertaker putting over Jeff. My favorite segment, I had to go with one of his realer promos, and that was when he first came back to TNA Wrestling after his incident that happened at Victory Roads with Sting. I had to go with this one because this was like the first time I think, because we've seen Jeff like on and off like throughout his career battling addiction. And this was the first time in his career, him really owning up to his mistakes. And like, we kind of got to see like a real side of Jeff. And then this led to him winning the TNA World Championship, becoming the Wrestler of the Year in 2012. And he had a really, really nice redemption arc during this time.
And like, I remember this episode. If it wasn't this episode, it was like the week after or whatever. But I remember like Jeff like going to all the wrestlers in the back.
This was the episode.
Apologizing.
Yep, this was the episode, and then it led to the end of the show with him cutting the promo.
And then he had that fantastic face-to-face with AJ Styles, and AJ was like, that was a load of shit what you did. This is how I feed my family. This is how I feed my kids. This is how I provide for my family. You gonna take money away from my family? Like that was just such a real emotional, like
it was real,
like father versus father in a way.
And that's why I had it, man, as my segment, because it was one of the realest things we've ever gotten in pro wrestling, especially with Jeff, because like they even had him talking to Sting backstage. They had him talking to Dixie. They had him talking to everybody. And it was just one of those real promos.
And Devon was like, listen, man, if we're going to give you another chance, you do anything again, I'm going to throw you against that freaking wall. Like, he was fucking really heated because Devon was a producer back then for TNA.
Yeah. And like, this also like reminds me too of like when Jon Moxley, when like he opened up about like his alcohol problems, where he like just faced it, and he's been clean ever since. But what do you got, Danny?
Unfortunately, we already know that this wasn't, this might have been heartfelt, but obviously it wasn't the end of the road for Jeff's struggles or whatever.
Yeah.
My favorite segment is now, it's a short one, and You know, it might not be on other people's list or whatever, but I feel like it was very instrumental for Jeff's career. It's the Undertaker raising his hand after the ladder match in 2002. Wrong graphic, bro.
Oh, I thought you had WrestleMania 33 with the return.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, wait.
That was this Dan.
Oh, shit. I didn't.
Or
Wow.
this Dan.
I totally botched it. I didn't even put your answer. Wow, I'm an asshole.
But anyway, everybody.
Well, maybe if you didn't put me third, it would have been the right picture.
Everybody knows, how instrumental that ladder match was against Taker. And, at the end of the match, whatever, obviously Taker won. This was when he had, like, the short hair and he was, like, the American Badass, like, heel version. And, Jeff picked the mic up after the match. It was like, that's all you got, Taker. I'm still standing. With the help of these ropes, I'm standing. Undertaker gets off his motorcycle, walks back down the ramp, pushes the ladder over, and just looks at Jeff Hardy and raises his hand. And then he lets Jeff's arm go. Jeff falls to the mat. And Undertaker, I swear he said, "You're a one tough son of a bitch." And then he just walks off. And that was the last image we saw was Jeff Hardy looking at his hand like this. Like, what just happened? Like that. I feel like even if he didn't win, like that was such a big moment. Because like I feel like for any performer, especially as young as Jeff was at the time, I think he was like 24. Like
he was young,
being praised by the Undertaker.
What year
somebody
was it?
as legendary as him.
This was in 2003.
2003.
Like it was just such a it wasn't a big moment or a long moment, like a long segment. I mean, but that had to do something to Jeff's career. You know what I mean?
He was 26 years old.
Yeah. I mean,
At that time.
that's young, man.
Yeah, before prime in wrestling.
Yep.
But what do you got, Dan?
What section are we on? Favorite segment? I did a tag team moment. Like I said, I did singles and tag team because I see him as both. I did a tag team moment of the Hardy Boys returning in WrestleMania 33.
There we go. We got the right graphic.
Hey, there you go. Good job, Donnie.
Thank
I
you.
get chills when I see that, and full knowing that the story. I didn't really know the story behind it. Like it was just a great return, like a big surprise for everybody. But it was just very wholesome. It was like, oh wait, we're gonna make this a fatal 4-way match. Guess who it is? And it was a great pop. Still one of the greatest pops. Like my favorite pops.
I'll tell you this right now before you get into your singles match. I want to say this was a huge shock, I think, for everybody because the Hardys that weekend at Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor, which is like their WrestleMania, the Hardys, they were the tag champs. And they had a brutal ladder match with the Young Bucks, and they went all out. And around that time with WWE, if you were about to be signed by them, they were not taking chances. They were not taking risk at all.
Yeah.
And this was the one rare occasion in 2017 where WWE actually allowed the Hardys to do that 30-minute ladder match with the Young Bucks for the titles to put them over and show up here at WWE. And I believe it was Matt and Jeff's idea because there was rumors online about them coming back to the WWE, but everybody knows the way WWE does things. And they told Vince, I think you should let us do this match because then they're not going to believe that we're going to show up the next night at WrestleMania. And then look what happened. Over.
So speaking of tag team duos, do you guys see the Hardy Boys as more TNA or WWE?
WWE.
WWE? What about you, Johnny?
Because Matt Hardy didn't come into his first time in TNA was 2009 or 2010 when he was
And that's when he wasn't doing well either around that time.
What do you say, Donnie?
This is tough because they've had incredible runs. Because even with TNA, they reinvented themselves. I know the broken gimmick got instantly over because that's when we first started getting cinematic matches. Yeah. And it's tough because their first time teaming together, they both weren't doing good mentally.
I feel
and then Matt Hardy went to Ring of Honor, kind of redeemed himself. And then him and Jeff became a tag team again in around 2015. And then now I think that they're on one of the best runs of their career, but I have to give it to WWE because with WWE, there was a big three. It was the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, and like even ECW Dudleys were iconic, but nothing's going to beat their WWE tag team run because they were working with some of the best.
Yeah, I look at them as I look at them as tag team wrestlers in WWE, and I look at them as singles in TNA. Just because, and I feel like in TNA they were less likely to team up in a weird way. You know, they had feuds with each other, and they did more singles work in TNA.
Matt even won a world championship on his own too.
So Donnie, I'm the stats guy in the podcast, right?
Yep.
You say you think more WWE, Don or Danny, and what were their tag team accolades for WWE, Donnie?
They were 6-time world tag team champions. They won the Raw titles and the SmackDown titles one time each.
And you just said they're one of the big three
titles, the tag titles.
They're one of the big three. They have never held any WWE tag team title for more than 63 days.
Yeah, around that time, they're playing hot potato with the titles, but they weren't going against
them. That's just a crazy stat to think about, and they are one of the well-known.
But you know, that's the thing. Same thing could be said about Kurt Angle. Like he had a better TNA run than WWE, and that's like
but he's
more known. But just like the Hardys, Angle is more well-known in the WWE. So like if you're looking at it like from a stats like perspective, you could argue that TNA. They had a better run than WWE because they worked there longer.
But that's why I asked you guys before I said that stat, because you think of them as WWE for Danny, and Donnie, you had a hard time figuring out or deciding between you guys. That's what I was thinking too. Was I was looking at? I see them as a WWE tag team. What's up, Rich?
We love you, Ben.
You like my title? You like my title, bro?
We will see you back here next week, bro.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh, hold on.
I can't wait till you lose that championship next week.
Let me get the whole. Let me give the rage here. Hold on 1 second.
I think I finally got a new nickname for Dan Eddy. I think I finally figured it out.
What?
We got Hollywood Dan Eddy. We got Hollywood Dan Eddy. He's gone Hollywood on us, and that like he got the shirt before us. He got the freaking championship. Like I don't like this. Like this reminds me. Danny, this is what reminds me of. Me, you, and Rage, we're the big three. Like, we're the OGs here on the We Are Wrestling. But I guess the producers are getting sick of the old, and they're trying to bring in the new. They're trying to make us put over this fucking kid right here.
I feel like Dominic was still here right now.
I can't wait till your 15 minutes of fame is up.
It probably will be.
Enjoy it while you got it.
That's what I'm doing.
Now he just needs to be a little bit more cruel and mean, and he'll be the fucking MJF of the podcast.
Yep, exactly.
All right, well, let's get into our favorite year.
Hold on 1 second. So that's why I was bringing up that weird stat is my favorite segment of him as the singles is when he was backstage painting a picture with while John Morrison was giving a promo with Melina, who we put over in the past. I think that was me actually who picked her.
Yeah,
no, that was you, Don.
No, I think that was your first one. That was your first one, I think.
Oh, was it? I feel like
I don't know.
Anyways, so they did that while they were he did that when he was doing a promo and ended up fighting John Morrison with the paint. And then he just slaps Casey Keeper's ass and kisses her in the middle of a match with the Dudleys. I think that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. All right, well,
that slap was WrestleMania 18, 2002.
Let's get into our favorite year. And I'll start this off here. My favorite year of Jeff Hardy is 2005. And not a lot of people talk about this run in 05, but this is when Jeff Hardy officially was gone from WWE. He started doing TNA work 2004 to 2006, because then of course he went back to WWE, but I don't know what it was. I really enjoyed the matches. This is kind of like when I first started getting into TNA wrestling was 05.
Here's a little backstory for you guys. A little bit of a story time with me.
Fuck you. You can tell your story after I'm done putting over Hardy in 05.
The reason why I have the chin strap like I have right here, I got the inspiration from him.
Oh, that's cute. All right. Well, 2005, I love the matches that he had with Abyss. He had a 3-series match, and I just really enjoyed those. And then, of course, Bound for Glory. I wish I used that graphic of him on top of the stage doing the swanton to Abyss and Monsters Balls.
Beautiful.
I just really enjoyed his run in 05. It was cool. Plus his theme in TNA, Modest, probably one of my favorite Jeff Hardy themes of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you got, Daddy?
My favorite year has to be 2001. You know, just like all the iconic moments. I remember who can forget this? You know, earlier in the night, he ended up. This was during the, two-man power trip. Steve Austin and Triple H were, together as like a heel team, and Jeff Hardy slid in the ring, gave the twist of fate to Stephanie McMahon, led to Intercontinental title match between Jeff and Triple H.
I got that 2-pack figure. They did make a 2-pack out of that.
Jeff ended up winning with the help of Matt Hardy. So, when you think of 2001, like that was also the year of WrestleMania 17, right? Like
2001 was a good year.
Yeah, all the memorable moments that they've had that year. You know what I mean? Like, but again, it's like you could have picked 99, you could have picked 2000, 2001, 2002. Like that entire like length of time was just fucking like, bro, like the Hardys, you would swear it was like fucking like NSYNC or fucking the Backstreet Boys. Like just when they came out, there was an energy unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Team Extreme, special. But what do we got, Dan Eddy?
Wait, what we got? Your favorite year?
Favorite year.
Sorry, I was looking at something. 2008 to 2009, I chose because we were talking about it a little earlier. He won his first WWE championship, really became a well-known singles competitor. Had a major feud with CM Punk that Donnie was mentioning that really like catapulted his career. And I also did 2022 since he became sober entirely. He's going on over 3 years of sobriety at this point. To this
Hardy's
day.
doing really good mentally and spiritually. And
Yeah,
Lita, she was crazy over too.
Yep.
Everybody was during the Attitude Era. But all right, and we got Josh Toy Show in here giving his answer. Favorite year for me was 2009 to 2012. That's a good timeline for Jeff. But yeah, because that's like when he was starting to become like world champion, main event guy. So let's get into our favorite rivalry, and we know Jeff has had plenty of them. I think both of you guys have 2 answers each for this one.
I think so.
Like
too,
Jeff is such a legendary figure. Like
you couldn't
hard.
choose.
It's so hard to just pick one. You know.
Well,
I mean?
Before you guys do show your 2, I'll show you guys my 1 and my favorite rivalry of Jeff's. I have to go all the way back to my favorite match, Jeff Hardy and CM Punk. I love real animosity. I love when there's real heat. 2 guys that are trying to be the number 1 guy. And I thought that this is where CM Punk really started to become a main event guy. It wasn't working with The Undertaker. It wasn't working with John Morrison on ECW. It was working with Jeff Hardy. Because CM Punk started to understand what the business is all about around this time, and that was politicking. And this is why him and Jeff Hardy had heat during this time. And there is too many.
And like, when you really think about this, like back then, like he doesn't so much now, because it's not really like his gimmick or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like back then, like he was really pushing the whole narrative of him being straight edge. And everybody like around that time
hated it.
Everybody knew, Jeff's struggles and issues or whatever. So it was like the perfect contrast, you know what I mean? And it equals success in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and then Jeff Hardy ended up leaving and then going to TNA, and he was a part of the Monday Night Wars there.
And then after this, if I remember correctly, after he had left WWE and he had cut his
the video at the diner, right? The diner video when he called.
Oh my god,
nerd.
I forgot about that.
He's a nerd. He's a fucking loser.
He's a fucking nerd.
Hey, nerds are cool.
Fuck,
they are
you.
cool.
Like
that was crazy. I can't believe we've never gotten like a feud with Jeff and CM Punk. Like AEW, that was a missed opportunity there.
I know.
And like, if Jeff Hardy does come back to WWE for one final run, like, do we get a Jeff and CM Punk program? Like, this is something that I've always.
I know for sure he wants to. He wants to be back into WWE.
Because I think both guys said like in interviews that they were interested with working with each other.
If Jeff or Matt called up Triple H, tonight, and we're like, we want to come back, he would have a contract drawn up by 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But I think it's good. But I think it's good that Jeff and Matt are in TNA because like that's gonna help TNA get that TV deal.
And don't forget this coming Tuesday, they're going for the NXT tag titles.
They better fucking win.
Those are the only tag titles. Those are the only tag titles that they haven't won.
Honestly, let me plug it real quick.
Yeah.
I will be doing a live watch along for NXT Showdown next Tuesday.
I will be too.
So, yep, we'll both be live on. I'll be live on We Are Wrestling. Danny will be live on his personal YouTube channel, which
so
is
you
down in the
guys can
links
have
below.
double screens, have both our streams pulled up, and show some love. Man.
Yeah,
It's gonna
fuck having both AEW and NXT on your screens. Just have Danny and I on your screens.
We're more entertaining.
There we go.
All right, what do you got for us? What's your 2?
Go ahead, Dan.
I gotta go with Umaga or Randy Orton. Like I really couldn't choose. You know what I mean? Like Randy Orton, obviously we know the history with them, and Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy had a very good friendship. You know what I mean? They were really close around this time, and like the feud going into the Royal Rumble 2008, they had a world title match that year. And then
when he did, because didn't that like before the Rumble match, like Jeff Hardy did the Swanton off the Raw stage on the Randy?
Yep.
That was sick.
It was just monumental. And then obviously, like even Jeff has talked about like the love that he had for Umaga and how much fun he had working with Umaga. And, it was just I really honestly couldn't choose. Like Jeff Hardy has been a part of so many great matches, so many great rivalries that it's honestly like physically hard to like pick.
Well, to be fair, Daddy, like Jeff Hardy is like your John Cena to me.
Yeah.
Like the way a lot of people that are a little bit older than us look at Hulk Hogan, that's how you looked up to Jeff Hardy growing up. You dyed your hair, you have the little goatee. Like for me, like John Cena, like I would go to my shows with like my oversized like shirts and wristbands and jorts, like out in the winter. Like the way like Jeff Hardy, man, is like on your Mount Rushmore. Like he's always been like your top guy.
Real quick story, Danny, how you mentioned you started doing your soul patch because of Jeff Hardy. Yeah. I did the little like porcupine highlights, as a little kid. I did that because of Sky Too Hottie.
Sky Too Hottie was one of my favorites. I used to stick up my hair because of him.
That's how
it's crazy the impact that these wrestlers that we put over every week have on us. That's why I love doing this.
Here's what I say all the time, and I'm gonna. It's like a fucking dead horse at this point, man. The reason why these moments are so impactful and why they mean so much to us is this, not just the match, but the story going into it. And that's why I try and hammer home every single.
I know AEW sucks. WWE is better at storytelling.
Not even just that.
AEW
story is so incredibly important. We wouldn't be if there was no story going into these moments. We wouldn't be talking about them.
You're right. I'm just giving you shit.
And the nostalgia factor is there too, especially when these people return because you grew up watching them. Yeah,
it is the moments that make wrestling. Like I do agree with you on that. I just like giving you shit because I also do appreciate the art that does happen in the ring as well. But I know like the moments is what makes the matches. Yeah. And that's like what we remember. So like I get it. I like to give you shit. So but good, what do you got, Dan Eddy, for us? What's your 2 matches and your stats behind it?
I was between 3, and you guys mentioned the 2 out of the 3 of them.
Hey, I'm supposed to be off this week.
You mentioned Randy Orton, and then you mentioned CM Punk. So I'll have to go with my 3rd one, which was Edge. And we were kind of mentioning it earlier where there was sort of real heat between the 2, much like CM Punk. And
I love how both these pictures, Jeff Hardy is in a precarious situation.
I thought that was Edge at first. Randy Orton was on top of Edge. Looked like him at first, but then I saw the lip ring. But I just, like I said before, man, like he had so many great feuds.
Wow,
like
I'm an asshole.
And like Danny was saying earlier, there's the storylines that lead up to these things. And if you look at just the feuds by themselves on paper, you know why. You know the story behind them. You know why this particular person was a rival. That's why they had a feud with each other. And like when you think of Edge, you're like, oh yeah, Jeff Hardy.
I do want to apologize to Jeff Hardy here because this is getting put over. And I used the graphic of Randy choking Hardy and Edge giving him a sharpshooter through a ladder. I'm sorry, Jeff. At least you got at least Jeff got a statue here. Not even. He's just in a museum. Wow, I'm bad. All right. And wait, real quick before we do get into our what if, I do want to share Josh's Toy Show's answer. His favorite feud was Jeff versus Punk in WWE and Jeff Hardy versus Austin Aries in TNA. That's a good underrated one with Austin Aries. Let's get into our what if scenario. And then I'm going to share with you guys something that I do feel like we need to add to the getting put over. But with my what if scenario, I went with this right here. What if we got a full Jeff Hardy heel run? Because obviously we got a sample size of what to expect with Jeff, because obviously Bound for Glory happened in 2010, and that's when he turned heel. He joined Immortal, which is pretty much like TNA's version of the NWO. And like Jeff Hardy had like a little bit more of an edgier, darker side to him. And obviously, like, he wasn't in the right mental state because we know what happened at Victory Road. But this heel run only went from October of 2010 to March of 2011. Not even a full year. And sometimes I think, what if Jeff Hardy here had like a whole year as the TNA World Champion, just continuing to be all your favorite people, Kurt Angle, Sting.
Now, is this Jeff Hardy's like only heel run in pro wrestling?
I believe so, yeah, because WWE never made him a heel.
He was like,
actually, when he first debuted, when he was with Michael Hayes and Matt Hardy, I think he was a heel. But like singles run, I think this was the only time.
I feel like he had some kind of heel tendencies or whatever, like around like 2003 before he actually left WWE, because I remember he was losing a lot of matches and he would just start random.
Yeah, but that was all frustration.
Like that,
but this right here was a real heel run. Yeah. So my what if scenario is, what if we like really got a full heel Jeff Hardy heel run? Would TNA would they have not been like the laughing stock of like the what if Hulk Hogan was never here scenario? Like, I don't know. Bradley longer than Cena's heel run. That is true, but still, I don't know. I felt like we got a sample with Jeff, and I think that like he did really good during this time as a bad guy.
This was the entrance I was talking about where he came out smoking a cigarette or whatever, and
Yep, another me. Yep. All right, what do you got, Daddy, for us?
My what if scenario is, what if Jeff Hardy didn't struggle with addiction issues and he remained with WWE and he did not leave in 2003? Would he have won the WWE title before his win in 08? Like, how different his career would have been. Like, he would have been, I feel like, even bigger than he is now.
I like that. That's a good answer. All right, what do you got for us, Dan Eddy, to end this getting put over?
So mine's sort of similar. I did the low-hanging fruit. Basically, like, what if you never battled drug addiction and remained clean and remained in WWE? My thought process behind it is like, if the trajectory remained the same of how they were pushing him along, he could have reached or maybe even exceeded John Cena's level of stardom and be in the mix of the most titles won in WWE history. They say John Cena is the greatest of all time, which he is. He's won 17 of them.
GOAT, baby.
If Jeff Hardy, hear me out there, Donnie. If Jeff Hardy would have stayed along with it, never went to TNA, or maybe he went to TNA, don't matter. But he could at least be in the mix, like up there with Randy Orton, at least as far as single titles won, and who knows? Like his career could be a lot different.
That is true, and I think like a lot of these like what if scenarios, it really just comes back down to like what if like he wasn't battling this addiction, and obviously like I don't know much with you, Dan Eddy, but I know with Daddy Huckins and myself, like our families have dealt with addiction like through the years, so it is like something that's sensible like subject, and it is something that is tough because like people are battling, they have to take it one day at a time, and it is something that is difficult to overcome, which is why like through the years Jeff Hardy has went up and down like a roller coaster, because that's life. And with Jeff Hardy, I think a lot of these what if scenarios, because he could have been the next John Cena. He could have been the next like face of the WWE. Like they were already doing that, like with this short stint from like 08 to 09, which is a lot of people's favorite years.
And that's why I chose 2022 as one of my favorite years, is because he is on this current sobriety run and his theme's different than the other ones. Because his daughter's gotten involved. He's doing a lot more TikToks with her. Him and Matt are like, I get like
they're tight.
They're tight, yeah. And it seems just different than his past runs. And even without that promo of him just like speaking to the camera and being real about it, I feel like
but also too, like I think what also really helps Jeff Hardy as well is a lot of the new things that we have found when it comes to athletes, because like cold plunges, like Jeff Hardy continues to put that over no matter what. I was hearing that a lot in his Kai motivational speech. Like cold plunges have really helped him because it is something that does help recover faster, helps with pain. So like there's a lot of things now with like physical therapy and stuff that like a lot of these wrestlers didn't know about. We weren't educated enough 10 years ago about cold plunges and all this other healthier things that we get to see through DDP and other people. We're saving lives here with like the way you can recover your body. Like these wrestlers, like 10 years ago, if it was 10 years ago and we didn't have cold plunges and DDP yoga and all this like stuff that's provided to us, like all this educational stuff, man, like some of these wrestlers like Dustin Rhodes, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk, maybe they wouldn't have, they would have had their boots hung up a long time ago.
I feel like, now I don't know if you guys agree with me on this or whatever. And like, I feel like Jeff Hardy, he doesn't regret his past.
He doesn't because it made him who he is today.
I feel, I feel like him going through all that shit allowed him an opportunity to really appreciate life now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's doing he's in a really good place now. And I kind of like after the whole AEW debacle, like I kind of told you guys, I was like, you know, I honestly feel like, you know, this was the breaking point for Jeff, and I feel like he's going to be a lot better. And I mean, so far, I'm right on that statement.
So a little behind the curtain, like a little kayfabe, as see my camera's right here, but I have not on the little stand, but on the stand, I have a little post-it note to just remind myself every now and then. It says, "You can't let the mistakes of your past determine your future," and that's spot on, because if you regret all the past mistakes you've had, you're still living in the past and you're not experiencing the present or expecting the future. So that's a great point.
That is true. And I am going to say this, like starting next week on the Getting Put Over segment, and this is up to the chat as well, because you guys watch us live every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I feel like one of the questions that we should add to Getting Put Over is a dream opponent. And it could be anybody.
Ooh.
I feel like that'd be a fun one. I feel like that'd be a fun
past or present?
Yeah, like anybody. It could be anybody.
Past, present, dead or alive.
And honestly, I'll just put you guys on the spot real quick. Jeff Hardy. Who would be a dream opponent? Anybody. Anybody you could choose. Like, let's say, like, it's WWE 2K video game, and you have anybody you can have Jeff Hardy wrestle. Who would it be? It could be somebody he's already wrestled before. It could be anybody.
Danny, you go first.
Shawn Michaels.
Ooh.
And like I know he's had matches with Shawn Michaels in the past, whatever, but I'm talking about like
prime and prime. That's what it's about.
Yes.
Like we're talking the best of the best. Like this isn't
the
like
Shawn Michaels that we got in the ladder match against Razor Ramon.
Yeah, like Michaels in his prime, like added, like yes, exactly.
Like 95, 94, maybe 96, like around there.
Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond Dallas Page versus Jeff Hardy.
Who has the better DDT?
All right. Well, my dream opponent for Jeff Hardy in his prime, I think I'm gonna have to go with. This is tough. Wow, I can't even believe like I'm putting myself on the spot here.
Are we just talking WWE?
I'm gonna look at my figures real quick and think about this. Just in general, like anybody.
You have like a shit ton of figures.
I know. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at all the eras over here. Let's see. Jeff Hardy. Who?
Oh man, that is a hard question too.
I'm not gonna lie.
Thing.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jeff Hardy versus Owen Hart.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a good one.
I feel like they had a match before.
Yeah, but I think that was when Jeff was like 16 years old as like a jobber or enhancement talent. I would like to see like King of Hearts Owen versus like a prime Jeff Hardy. I think that there could be a
Owen Hart or Bret Hart.
Owen.
My bad.
I love me some Owen. And look at that. We even got a go for it, Bradley. So I think moving forward, Dream Opponent might be a new one that we're going to add to the Getting Put Over. But that is it for this week's Getting Put Over segment, guys. Danny, this was a great one. But, dude, you do have to go back to the bottom. Thank you for picking Jeff Hardy at our Getting Put Over segment. Next week, Dan Eddy. Who are we putting over?
I have been scoping through this list you gave me, Donnie, this whole stream. And I really hope it's not true, or I really hope it's true they have not done him. He was mentioned in the podcast today. 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. Randy Orton.
All
Have we
right.
done Randy Orton? Have we
I
done
am
him
looking. Yet? I am looking right now, and I don't think we ever did Randy Orton.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Orton. Well, next week's show, we can definitely confirm 100%.
Look at this. Look at what different styles wrote in the chat.
We got Mr. Perfect in 91 and the 2001 Jeff Hardy. I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good one.
Good match.
Different.
That kind of match deserves like a stipulation, like a cage match.
But I will say this, like
Jeff Hardy's the GOAT.
Jeff Hardy is the GOAT. So we can 100% confirm that next Thursday we will be having a We Are Wrestling podcast extra live, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Either one of you gentlemen can join me next Thursday if you'd like. Talk additional wrestling news, because if we're putting Randy Orton over, the only thing we're going to be doing next week's episode is our crown jewel predictions and putting over Randy.
You're not even going to be on next week's episode as far as I know.
I won't be, and I'm kind of sad that I'm going to miss out on Randy Orton's getting put over.
I'm surprised you guys haven't done them yet. Edge too,
that's
I
okay.
couldn't find.
But honestly, next week, that's going to be a fun one for you guys.
2021 or 2022, and I'm surprised we have never put over Randy Orton.
I think we did like an episode, like when we were like not doing news, we did like an episode, like talking about our favorite Randy moments and stuff, but it wasn't a getting put over segment.
My
so that doesn't
count
because you have the whole RKO thing in your like little like.
That's opening. The thing too. I was surprised. I couldn't. I literally looked at this guys maybe 40 times. I'm not.
But you guys, but do you guys want to know like my backstory when it comes to picking somebody into getting put over before we get into our main event?
Yeah.
So the way I do it, I don't like to put over the larger than life stars because they've already been put over enough. I like to go after like the mid card talent. I like to go after people that I feel like deserve their flowers, that I feel like don't get enough flowers, like compared to like a Randy Orton, a John Cena, a Jeff Hardy. I like to give it to like somebody like I don't know, like a Hardcore Holly, or that's probably a horrible example. But, yeah, like Chavo Guerrero, like that's a good one that the fans picked. Like I like going after the underrated guys, but I'm excited for you guys. Next week for getting put over, it's gonna be the 3 most dangerous letters. RKO.
Again, that's gonna be another one to where it's gonna be so hard.
I can't wait to hear you guys' dream opponents for next week.
Because
when you send me your answers, dream opponent is a new one you gotta send me. All right. Well, that being said, let's now because this has been a pretty long episode. Let's get into the We Are Wrestling podcast main event topic. And let's talk about it because last Wednesday on Dynamite, there was a segment with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. Pretty much Adam Copeland being absent from AEW TV because he has to focus on his family. And fans are speculating that Adam Copeland could possibly come back to WWE and we can get a possible Edge versus John Cena match one final time. So basically, Adam Copeland told Christian he needed time away. Fans have speculated that Edge could possibly come back to WWE for a one-off against John Cena in his farewell tour. And we do have an update here about that. According to PW Insider, a rumor claiming Adam Copeland was written off AEW TV last night to go wrestle John Cena on one of John Cena's final retirement matches in WWE is not even remotely true. It was said Copeland's exit from storyline is in part due to his acting career. likely the season of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. So what's your thoughts on Edge possibly showing up to WWE? Do you believe they could do a one-off here? Or do you think it's not going to happen? It's too good to be true. Which, by the way, shout out to all 28 people here in the live episode of the podcast. Appreciate you guys.
I mean, is it a little bit far-fetched? Yes. But, like, and I know, like, you know, Copeland, he had to be off TV for a while because of an injury or whatever. So, you know, Tony Khan could have tagged time on or whatever. But, like, I don't know Tony personally. I've never had a conversation with him. I'm sure he knows us because he's a fucking mark for himself. And whenever somebody talks about AEW, he always has to be fucking one of the viewers. But I feel like he has such respect for guys like Copeland that I don't think it would be out of the ordinary for him to grant a special request like this. You know what I mean? Like, he grew up in the era of, you know, going to ECW shows with his dad, and, you know, he was on all the blog sites back in, you know, the early 2000s or whatever. So, you know, he has a deep love and appreciation for everything that Adam's done. And even he knows, you know, what a giant rivalry CM Punk or John Cena and Edge had. Yeah. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Is it out of the realm of possibility? This is pro wrestling, bro. At the end of the day, nothing is out of the realm of possibility.
Fucking CM Punk returns. Nobody saw that.
Never thought that was happening, let alone AJ Lee.
Like, that little AJ Lee, yeah. So I think everybody who is in the business of wrestling, whether it's us doing a podcast, whether it's Triple H doing creative, Tony Khan, everybody who is behind running the business, doesn't matter which one it is, AEW, WWE, whatever. At the end of the day, we're all fans of wrestling. So, in speculation of his absence due to maybe being Cena's last opponent, I can see that happening. And like Danny said, do I think it's going to happen? No. But if I were to put a percent chance on it, I would say at least 35% that it could happen. And I was reading more into his contract details. Despite accusations of it expiring at the end of this month, that's actually expected to expire in late 2026. So also his reason of absence, injury time, his reason of absence actually also is his role as Ares in the third season of Disney's Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Yep.
That was added on there. So that could be why his TV absence is happening right now. But the speculation is unreal when it comes to wrestling fans, whether it's, you know, us doing a podcast or just the casual fan. And even the casual fan knows the rivalry between Edge and John Cena, whether they were introduced to wrestling maybe a month ago or have been introduced to it a long time ago, but maybe just got back into it recently. I don't know. It's something to think about.
The thing that I look at it also is, like, WWE and AEW both know how the dirt sheets are. Like, we don't know what was talked about behind closed doors, or, you know, on a cell phone call or a text or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I admire people like Mike Johnson and Sean Ross Sapp for the work that they do or whatever, it would be very easy for AEW or Adam Copeland or WWE or whatever to be like, no, that's not happening. Like, why would they be like, yeah, it's happening? You know, why would they do that? And then they'll ruin.
Why?
The return for themselves.
Because wrestling fans, like, they really don't think before they put their opinions out there online. And I think people are just very excited because, like, everybody wants to see John Cena versus Edge one final time. Like, that was one of my favorite rivalries growing up.
It's kind of weird that they haven't announced anything about an opponent, but they've announced fucking the venue. They've announced what day. They've announced what show. You know, they haven't worked towards, like, who that is going to be. I'm hoping after Crown Jewel we start to lean that way.
I hope
and
so
also
too.
They were, like, how they were advertising everything else. They've kind of been putting themselves back up into a corner because they've done all these, you know, last time ever matches with John Cena's whole retirement tour. He's done Randy Orton.
Yep.
He's done Brock Lesnar. He's done CM Punk. Like, what?
they only have so many appearances left, and there's probably no way for them to put AJ Styles.
I got a juicy hot take here.
And then when John Cena did the whole the setup for the Edge and the spear and everything or whatever, and Michael Cole on commentary was like, "Oh, he's putting over fucking Roman Reigns or whatever." And then later that night on Instagram, John Cena fucking posts a fucking picture of Edge on his fucking Instagram.
And
like
then Edge
making it
paid
known,
homage
like,
to
no,
Cena.
like fuck you, like, you know,
during All Out. But here's the thing.
Adams tribute to Cena.
I have a juicy hot take, and before you guys give your opinion on this, like, just hear me out. All right, because I already know what Danny's gonna think about this, and I already know what he's gonna say after I say this. So let me talk. Here's my juicy hot take. If Vince McMahon, hold on a minute. If Vince McMahon was running WWE right now in the year 2025, I think him and Tony Khan would work out some type of deal, and I think that Edge would be John Cena's final opponent because Vince McMahon has too much love, too much respect for John Cena, and he's going to grant him whoever he wants. And here's a perfect example why I could back this claim up. Let's go back to 2012. WWE wanted the 4 horsemen in the WWE Hall of Fame. So what did they do? They worked out a deal with TNA Wrestling at the time because Ric Flair was signed to TNA. He was doing stuff with Fortune and Immortals, and pretty much in return of Ric Flair doing something for the WWE Hall of Fame with Tully, with Arn, with the 4 horsemen, TNA Slammiversary, they were able to get Christian Cage for one night only. And that is the one time, and remind you, TNA Wrestling was number 2. They were competing with WWE at this time. But they wanted Ric Flair, they made a deal happen. Vince made it happen. And I think that realistically here, if Vince McMahon was running things, he has too much love, too much respect for John Cena to where I think we would be getting Edge versus John Cena in some capacity, and AEW and WWE would have some type of deal in place. That's my hot take.
So with that, knowing that Triple H is running things now, do you think it's a possibility that it might happen?
Nope, not happening. Triple H has too much of an ego to do it. Because one thing that I will say that, one thing that is different about Triple H and Vince McMahon is Vince might not like you, but he will do whatever is possible for the WWE. He will put his problems, shut the fuck up, Siri. John Cena or Vince McMahon would put his problems aside.
Shut up, Siri.
For the WWE, for what's best for business. Triple H, on the other hand, yes, he was able to squash things with CM Punk and other people. But at the end of the day, the dude still has a massive ego. Because look at him. He's the face of WWE. Like, he's every fucking intro of a PLE. Like, we always have to hear about Triple H. We always have to see Triple H. Like, don't get me wrong. Hall of Fame career, great wrestler. But
If John Cena went up to Triple H, like, behind closed doors, like, just them, you know, sitting down and having a drink or whatever, you don't think he would be okay? He would tell Cena okay if Cena was like, I would really like to get Edge back here and have at least one more match.
Nope, because I think Triple H thinks that his roster, there's plenty of worthy final opponents for John Cena than having to work a deal out with Tony Khan in the number 2. Because he feels like he is far more superior than him.
I mean, don't forget, Billy Gunn was signed to AEW, and he was at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony several years back.
Okay, but who was in charge in 2019 at that time? Realistically, Vince McMahon made that happen.
Yeah.
Triple H wants nothing. Triple H, well, I'm not going to put TKO wants nothing to do with anything AEW.
I just feel like Triple H has so much love and respect for what John Cena has accomplished and what John Cena has
not
done
as much as Vince
for
McMahon.
WWE.
Not as much as Vince.
If John Cena legitimately went up to Hunter and be like, I really want Edge, in my last match. Like,
Well, guess what? John Cena really wanted to have his final match in Boston, but guess what?
I was just
It
about to
didn't
mention
happen.
that.
It didn't happen. And guess
Because
what? If
no
Vince
money.
McMahon was in charge, Cena's last match would be in Boston. Bradley, We Are Wrestling member, made a great point there.
I think it originally was supposed to be in Boston, but they didn't want to fork over the amount of money that WWE.
Yeah, no, it was
and
about a
Cena
money
wanted.
thing. So
It
guess
was
what? If they were not
100% money.
able, so pretty much they picked greed over Cena.
What's up, Can't Guard?
Vince wouldn't have done that. What's going on? Can't guard me.
Watch Addict. What's going on, brother?
And it's
Gunther
so
versus Dominic
unfortunate.
Mysterio, who would win a ladder match for the custody of the Cricket Wireless 5G Internet Trophy?
Who gives a crap about them right now? We're talking about Edge and John Cena. Sorry, Watch Addict, but man, that's the thing about this. Like, I really don't think Triple H would do it.
I'm with
Vince would.
Mr. Champ over here. I'm gonna say around the 35 to 40% chance we get it. I'm hoping that we do. If not, it's none. That would be fucking wild as fuck if Cena's contract expired and he fucking went over to AEW for one night to have that match with that.
But you see that, John? But John Cena, I don't think would ever do that either. He's too loyal to the WWE.
That was a hot take on my part.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
making headlines there, Daddy.
One last time. Nope, just kidding. I'm going to AEW.
Man,
Fucking KO.
2 weeks here with Daddy Huckins plus a extra. I cannot wait until next week. I get a break. Hallelujah.
This podcast was only supposed to go an hour and 30 minutes, but with me here, it's just the conversation just keeps going and going and going and going.
Well, to be fair, like, some of these topics could have definitely been faster, but honestly, we had some great discussions here.
It's
Didn't even feel
for the viewers, man.
To be honest with you, like,
Exactly.
it felt like an hour and a half. It felt like 90 minutes.
It did.
It's fun
It
when
did.
you're sitting here talking,
It felt like 2
Absolutely.
hours, to be honest with me.
But we are going to close things off because there is like 9 minutes until the 6-year anniversary for AEW Dynamite. So real quick, we'll answer this from Watch Addict. How much money has Cena made for this company? Who cares how much Boston is giving WWE for the venue feed? This company has no shame left. If he's your GOAT, give him GOAT-worthy send-off in his home. Exactly how I feel. And that's the difference between Vince and TKO, in my opinion. But
And did you
guys,
did you hear that statement or whatever? Real quick, that apparently John Cena didn't want to face Brock Lesnar. That wasn't his call or something like that.
yeah, I'm not
I did hear
surprised by
that.
that at all. WWE really doesn't give a shit about the farewell tour, and it hurts.
It was already a failure. I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys tuning in, man. It was fun.
All right, well, to all the We Are WrestleManiacs out there worldwide, just a couple reminders. Blitzkrieg Pro next Saturday night, October 11th, Pierogi Hall, Enfield, Connecticut. We Are Wrestling will be in the house and we'll be sponsoring a tag match with Priscilla Kelly and Zachary Wentz, TNA star, versus Charles Mason and a mystery partner. You can watch the full show live on IWTV for only $9.99 if you can't make it out to Connecticut. But yeah, guys, next week as well, you can cast your votes for the next Pump of Power of the poll. Since it is going to be TNA weekend with Bound for Glory, we figured we'd ask you guys a TNA question. But to all the We Are WrestleManiacs out there worldwide, if you guys enjoy this, smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are WrestleManiac, you are ready, and you're listening to this episode on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast. Please give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode and all 176 episodes previously. If you're not following We Are Wrestling over on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, go follow us on our social medias for wrestling video clips, daily news, and we're even going to be having clips from our podcast. We're going to start posting those as well, probably on the YouTube channel and even shorts on the social media page. Links down in, if you're not a We Are WrestleManiac, you're already over on the YouTube channel where you get the best pro wrestling content. Make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Turn on the post notifications. We're live every Wednesday here on YouTube, over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. The link's down in the description box below. You can go follow myself, Dan Eddy, and Danny Huckins. Well, my links are not down below because Rage was supposed to be here. So go follow Rage, Dan Eddy, and Danny over on their social medias and other content pages. Ben, he is twitching away. Dan Eddy, I don't know what you're doing with Twitch, but You're not
Sort of
doing
same
anything
thing,
yet?
but with football. No, I'm not doing anything yet.
Well, go follow him so that you can be alerted when he has a Twitch stream, because I'm followed to him, so I'll know when he goes live. I don't know when that's going to be,
Subscribe to
but
me,
we'll figure
man.
it
I'm
out.
one subscriber away from 2230, so make sure you guys
All
subscribe
right,
to my
well, I'm
YouTube
going to make
channel.
sure to unsubscribe, so you need to get 2 more. So go subscribe to Danny Huckins.
Ooh.
Links down in the description box below. Also, I have a toy page. Also, I have a toy page, Best One Donnie. You can go subscribe to there if you're into wrestling figures and stuff. Just reviewed this brand new Jeff Hardy figure, who we just put over. All the links down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. Next week, we're going to be putting over Randy Orton, and we'll be doing our Crown Jewel predictions. We are wrestling. We are taking over. Peace.